Show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
What's up, family? Got your boy DCN hosting tonight. Big Q will be showing up later. You know we're going to provide y'all with all the interesting, educational, entertaining Pels talk. And that's what we plan on doing today. We are going to open up the chat and allow y'all to come up and, talk y'all stuff too, man. Got a lot going on in Pels world, as you see. Welcome to California. Well, Brandon Ingram wasn't. We getting in talking about that today. But not am I only up in here by myself tonight. I'm riding shotgun with your girl Lex, our wonderful co-host. What's going on, Lex? How you doing today?
What's going on with you?
Oh, it's all good, man. I can't complain. Everything is everything. Trying to figure out what's going on with these Pelicans as usual. They leave a lot of things to the imagination, as well as show us a lot of things that we don't goddamn understand. First, we're going to start off with, pretty much the main topic, talking about Brandon Ingram being a flight risk by an NBA analyst, whoever this is. You want to read this article or you want me to take it, Lex?
Yeah, I can read it. All right, it says New Orleans Pelicans star considered fight risk by NBA analysts. New Orleans Pelicans star could be on the move during the 2025 NBA offseason. This article was written by Kenneth Teep. All right. The future of New Orleans Pelicans star forward Brandon Ingram is as up in the air as ever. Without a long-term contract in place, it is anyone's guess where he will be playing basketball beyond the 24-25 season. Will the Pelicans and Ingram find a role and contract number both are comfortable with ahead of the campaign getting underway? Or will this be something that looms over the franchise through the deadline in February? Until a new deal is inked or a trade is made, it will be the biggest storyline in New Orleans. Underlying issues will be the kind of role he plays and how it impacts other wings on the roster, such as Trey Murphy and Herbert Jones. By all accounts, Ingram looks like he will be remaining with the team heading into the season. That puts a lot on the plate of head coach Willie Green, who is going to have his hands full finding minutes for everyone on the perimeter. However, his long-term outlook with the franchise looks as bleak as ever. DeJounte Murray is probably a cornerstone piece along with Zion Williamson, Murphy, and Jones. CJ McCollum remains in the mix as well. The team still has promising wing Jordan Hawkins too, as they wouldn't be hurting for depth should they opt out to move on from Ingram. In the opinion of Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report, that all plays a part in Ingram being a flight risk the second he is eligible to leave the team in free agency in 2025. This isn't going to end well for the Pelicans, a team that's already over the luxury tax line and still doesn't have a starting caliber center on the roster. Moving Ingram for one while trimming 1.7 million off the payroll remains the best path forward for the franchise, especially when factoring in future contract trepidations. Even if Ingram makes it through this season with the Pelicans, he no longer looks like a long term fit with the franchise, Swartz wrote. The writing has been on the wall for a little while. Ever since the Pelicans made it clear Ingram would not be receiving a max extension from them, trade rumors popped up. It is hard to envision any team offering Ingram a maximum deal, but there are a few franchises projected to have cap space next offseason that could throw a significant amount of money this way that would be too rich for New Orleans blood. And I
Come on
believe that
now,
is
dog. Come on, man.
Man, that don't leave you excited about anything. So
no.
wait a minute. Not only is Brandon Ingram a flight risk, right?
Yeah.
He's apparently uranium radioactive yellow nuclear cake. Nobody wants to touch him either because of his contract extension. So he's gonna leave for nothing, and we can't trade him, according to this article. And on
Yeah.
top of that, we had the voluntary workouts. They were voluntary. Zion was there for 2 days, Lex. He was there for 2 days, so I was
Yeah.
right.
Before he hit China.
And he went to China, but
Hmm.
Brandon Ingram didn't show at all.
Yeah.
Now we've had voluntary workouts pretty much every single year, right? And
Hmm.
Brandon Ingram usually was the one to put most of the voluntary workouts together. And he always showed up. But amidst all the controversy and everything we got going on, Brandon Ingram did not show at all. Is this a huge deal? Or is this little to do about nothing? What you think about that?
I think yes and no. Obviously, when you talk about voluntary workouts, think of it like this. And I'm a visit football a little bit. Um, for instance, if a quarterback does not come to voluntary workouts, it's a big deal. That's a very big
I
deal.
mean, do they still have the voluntary workouts? If the
Well,
quarterback does show?
what is it called? It's they have voluntary, isn't it voluntary camp or something like that? Where they don't have to
What
come, they
mini?
don't
I
have to
think it's
go.
mini camp.
Yeah, something like
Mini
that.
camp. The
I
camp
know
before
they have
training camp.
something, but I know what happened with Lamar
Yeah, something
Jackson.
like that.
Like he didn't show up. He actually didn't show up not because when he was going through his contract extension, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And they made a big deal about it. He was actually taking care of some family business and things. You know what I'm saying? But he ended up coming like to the other camps. He wasn't holding out, because a lot of times that means you're holding out for money. So that's why people were like making a big deal out of it. But I say that, and I'm not saying that Brandon is a quarterback or anything like that. But obviously, this is a guy who is supposedly a key piece of the Pelicans, right? He's one of, part of the, core. I don't know if it's current. I don't know how you would want to put it, but he's supposed to. Let's just put it like that. So by this being on him, and it's the same with Zion. If Zion misses a workout, it's like it's a big deal. Now, for someone like Daniel Tice did not come to the voluntary workout either. But it's Daniel Tice. Who's tripping off of that? Daniel Tice is not a part of the core of this team. So when you look at Brandon, there's more weight when it comes to that, depending on who you are on this team, and if you're a part of the core or not. And in that regard, it is important. It is a big deal. So on the other side of it, it is voluntary. So you can take it however you want to. I mean, obviously, when you couple it with Brandon's cryptic tweet or IG story, whatever, it doesn't really look good because obviously we kind of understand what type of headspace that he's in right now. And, he's frustrated, talking about, his value and, um, obviously he doesn't feel like the Pelicans value his services or what he brings to the table because, they haven't offered him the extension. But I mean,
And you got his tweet, what he posted and shared on his Instagram about if they
yeah.
don't appreciate you in a different environment, maybe you need to find another environment because they'll
What up,
stunt your
Chad?
growth or something like that. Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to Chaz, man. What's happening, brother? Shouting you out next. But
But yeah, I mean, you can take this like a grain of salt.
I mean, he was in
Um,
New York though. It was his birthday.
I mean, well, yeah, it's his birthday. That's different. I mean, really, it's one of those things that this situation shouldn't have gotten like this to this point because I think before it gets better, it's gonna get worse. This whole situation is uncomfortable because you're in between a rock and a hard place when it comes to Brandon. The ball is not in his court. It's not like he really has a huge argument with his situation. Um, and neither party seems to is gonna budge. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but by default, the Pelicans have the upper hand in this situation. Um,
Really?
I mean, yeah, because it's like we're I mean, the thing is mentally it's going to be interesting to see how mentally where Brandon goes with this, where he goes with this, how this is going to affect the team. And this is the situation that the Pelicans have really designed all this because it's like you've made a situation where now the whole team, is more than likely going to be feeling this. It's going to be uncomfortable for everybody. Dealing with this,
Ain't
the
that what we need though? We had too much love and comfort, and everybody
well,
happy
this
is.
is because it is business. The thing is, they need to move Brandon now. They really do need to move him. This isn't one of those things because the thing is, he's not in the foreseeable future. And that's what makes this complicated because, obviously you still have Trey Murphy and that's kind of down the road, but it's like they have to take care of this right here. And really, it's looking like this is going to be a similar situation. I've been saying this. It's going to be a similar situation with JV. And the situation with JV is they went into the season, did not reach a contract extension, got to the trade deadline. They didn't do anything. And I don't care about that second round pick. JV walked for nothing. Because that pick actually was delayed. They kind of coupled that with, with the Atlanta Hawks and the trade for DeJounte and all that stuff. But they let that dude walk. And basically you're seeing kind of like deja vu, a similar situation with Brandon. They're not reaching a contract extension. They're going to go into the season. I don't really believe they're going to trade him at the trade deadline. I think they're just going to, let this ride out. And it's kind of weird because
What would be the benefit of that though, Lex? If they just let it ride out
I
and
mean they did it
they
with
don't
JV.
trade him,
They did it with
But
JV. They just
but
did that
with
last
JV,
year.
we don't know. Like, okay, we don't know what was on the table, right? And then if you did become a playoff team, right,
Mhm.
they would have games where you would need JV. So
Yeah.
remember when we was going during
That
the
was gonna
season,
get
and
that
I
deal.
was like, well, Alex, if they do just move JV for nothing, it's like punting on your contention in the playoffs or being able to do anything because he's really the only real center we have. Like, I know Willie don't want to play him, want to do all that small ball stuff, but you need him in some aspects, especially when you playing in the playoffs. You need him. Like, you can't just get rid of him for nothing. I don't think it's the same thing with Brandon Ingram. They can take whatever the best deal is that they could possibly get, even if it may not be the best deal that they wanted,
But
because you got to get
who you
something
talking
for him.
about though?
Well, okay.
Is
Well, I'm
Griff
gonna tell
gonna
you. I'm
do
gonna
that?
tell you
But
this. I'm gonna
but
tell you this.
you
Then,
gotta speak in the terms of who you talking about.
and
Griff,
that's why I say what I
Griff is
said last
bullhead.
show.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
Griff don't trade him, like you said,
He's
you
playing
know what we
himself.
look. But you know what we looking at? If Griff don't trade Brandon Ingram, Lex, he is re-signing him. I promise you, he gonna re-sign him because there's no
So
way
so
he's
so
going to let him walk for nothing.
so
That would be
so
an epic fail
basically,
as a GM.
so that's
Based,
throwing Trey out the picture, because that's what that means.
and we gonna have to see. We gonna have to see what the cause fall. I don't want that to happen.
Because
I
they
ain't
don't want to pay
advocate for that shit.
the luxury tax. So it's like that.
First off,
Trey Murphy is younger and fits well with Zion and probably has a higher ceiling. Well, we don't know that, but
no doubt.
right now he already has something that's already trending in the league. And that is he shoots the three. He shoots it without
Right.
hesitation. And this is a shooter's league. It's a shooter's league. So the thing is that that's something that Trey Murphy has down. All he has to do is tighten up his defense, obviously add more to his game, uh, you know, work on his handles, add a little bit of mid-range, but he already has the foundation of what any and every team needs. The dude shoots threes, and you can't teach
You ain't gotta
16.
convince me. Matter of fact, everything you said, I want you to add that to David Griffin because I can promise you, if we aren't trading him, that dude will mess around and re-sign Brandon. Because for one, if we aren't able to trade him, that tells me
What?
another thing. He not nobody who gonna give him 50. Nobody getting him 50 million next year.
But
Nobody's giving him
I
50
but
million.
I hope Brandon's not. Well, I ain't. I hope Griff don't
Nobody
hustle
gonna give him
himself.
50 million. For him to get 50 million, Brandon Ingram gotta come out there for us, and he gotta be scoring like 30 something points a game, man. He gotta look like
That's not gonna happen.
SG he gotta look like SGA last year for somebody to be okay, and take him and give him the 50 mil and all that initially. I think they'll have teams that will be willing to give him a contract and like, hey, prove that you're worth this 50 mil and give him a prove it deal type thing, or be able to give him a contract closer to where he at now. Because with that, the CBA, man, way that is, I don't think they're gonna be trying to bust that open till all that money flood in. And the cap ain't really going up nothing crazy next year, so I don't see it. And if that's the case, to let him walk to somebody for a lesser deal, not get anything in return, or maybe we pull off a sign and trade. That'd be the best hope. If he doesn't get traded during the season, like we did with JV, hopefully it won't
Well,
be
but
piece by piece and pieced out
that's
over
why I
three
say I
weeks.
don't include that because that was delayed. I mean, that came like 2 weeks after or something crazy like that. It's like if you think
It
about
was
it,
because of the Dejounte
he was
Murray trade,
literally just he was walking, man. He was just walking.
right?
And it actually would have been more beneficial for them to keep JV and get Trey Murphy squared away. Because the thing is, we would have had a point guard and a starting center. And that's with if you would have went on and traded Brandon. Because we have plenty of wings, like the article was saying, there are plenty of wings. And I'm not saying like, because I know people talk about, you know, well, this player is better than the other. It's not about who's better than the other. It's about the fit at this point. It's about the fit. And the biggest thing we've talked about it many times, Brandon has a problem shooting threes. He just has a problem with that. It's not first nature to him. And the thing is, like I said, and these are the trends of the NBA, it's a shooter's league. You gotta have, and that's one thing that this team struggled with all season, was shooting the three. Not only shooting the three, but shooting the three at a higher volume. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's what it's about. And we got to have that shooting. And if he can't provide it, then what good is he to us? Because the thing is, it's not like Brandon's not dominant in the paint. I don't think there's anything dominant about his game. No one talks about anything that's dominant about Brandon's game. So the thing is that if you don't have any type of dominance, or there's nothing like specific that you do exceptionally well, like, and when I say exceptionally, I mean like you're like top 5 in the league. That's something that Zion has. You know what I'm saying? And that's even without Zion having a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, we seen him in China, and he was backing down the Chinese and
yeah,
doing turnaround
and it's
fadeaways.
coming. It is coming.
I
I
think
feel
that
like
means a lot for
the
him to
game
do
is
that
definitely going to
and be
elevate. It
joking
has to.
around.
It has to. But it's a good sign. It's probably the most that we've seen with Zion and everything. They're not workout videos, but my thing is, whether the workout videos are there or not, it's about when you come into camp, just be ready. Because
Yeah,
anybody can set their camera, can set their phone up, and be like, look at me, man, I'm working in the gym, working. You know what I'm saying? Do that for about 5 minutes, turn it off, and you leave out the door. You know what I'm saying?
right. But I think this is
Anybody can
one
do
of
that.
those rare
Look,
situations where
I've done that before.
Zion know this year. We I don't think we getting a lot of the fluff. Like what you saying has been happening.
Yeah,
Previously we had all the pictures and look how he in such great shape, and they putting the Bane mask on him and all that nonsense like that we always talk about. And there, Zion to have like one dunk and they're like, look, see, he been in the gym and but I don't know. This off season it seems different.
yeah.
Like he wasn't hurt this off season, You know how I
Mhm.
keep advocating for that and going over that. He has a normal
Shout out
off
to
season.
Amy.
Shout out to Amy, man, the physical therapist. Boy, it would be nice if we could get
Look,
another one, huh? You
should have
know,
had her 4 years ago.
man, which who you tell?
What?
But Zion looks genuinely happy. He
Yeah.
looks good. You're seeing him. He looks to be down in weight. I don't know where his conditioning is, but that'll all happen when he start playing ball. But what I'm seeing so far, man, you gotta love it. I think this is the best offseason Zion has had in the whole era of him being here. And with that being said, with the addition of DeJounte Murray and all the other talent we have on the team, I think he's in for a huge season. But where does that leave Brandon Ingram? How does Brandon Ingram feel about it? Where does he see himself or the role on the team? Far as him being able to still be that number one guy, because like I said, it's gonna be a 1A 1B situation. Them going in because it's in the Pels' best interest for it to be that way. Brandon Ingram won his money. He got a ball out. But I'm wondering if are we gonna see a more selfish version of Brandon
Yeah.
Ingram due to the
And
circumstances?
that's why
Less
I'm
less
concerned
passing.
about his mentality.
But that's the version of him that we actually like. That's the version of Brandon Ingram that had 6 3-pointers to an extent when he was aiming to be that number one guy. Not so crazy about him leading the team in shot attempts. But if that's what it takes for us to be able to trade him, knowing that we can't make this work, that may be in the best interest of the team. And also, what is the relationship with Brandon Ingram and Willie Green after him benching him, in the Lakers game, and then all the nonsense that happened in the Thunder series. We talked about it when Willie was supposed to draw up some plays for Brandon Ingram, and he just said, "Oh, we're gonna let him figure it out." This is basketball. Guys got to go out
And
there and
that's
figure it
always
out.
the answer. That's what
Right.
happens when you don't have the ability to coach. You know what
The
I'm
other team, they drawing up all type of schemes, and they didn't got clocked you. They got all your regular stuff, right?
saying? Yeah,
Coach, what we gonna do? We gotta trust in the process. We're gonna keep doing the same thing.
yeah,
But how does he feel about that? So I think we're looking at a situation where it's definitely gonna be rocky. And I made my joke last show about Willie Green being in a possible situation to succeed. When I said
mm,
that, y'all were going in other directions, but this is one of the reasons I feel that too, because he has so many things working against him. He has too much talent to manage it correctly, and also he has Brandon Ingram, who's going to have his own agenda.
yeah.
Right? He's going to be
I mean,
concerned with getting his numbers.
it's the same thing as last season. I mean,
No,
Brandon had
no.
something to prove last
Last
season.
se- but last season he made sacrifices. Although
I
we wouldn't
mean,
say it was a total
he
success.
wasn't with it all the way
He
though.
shot 15. He shot 15 shots a game, Lex, and he had his highest number of assists that he's had in Pelican uniform, if I'm not mistaken, because he had to be the de facto point guard. We had the point guard by committee thing going on, right?
Yeah,
So he dropped in points per game. He did make sacrifices. He didn't buy into Willie Green and what they were saying because he didn't shoot more 3 pointers. That was supposed to be the main emphasis. Never
yeah,
happened, right? So he did rebel. I'm not saying that, and
yeah.
I know that's where you're going. He did rebel, but he
I mean,
did
no,
make
Brandon
sacrifices,
said that. He alluded to that stuff.
though.
I'm just, repeating what he was saying.
He
So,
forced Zion to have to take a back seat. You remember that?
oh yeah. But you know what's really sad is that, you know, to even fathom that, that the fact that they told Zion that he had to take a back seat, that's very disturbing. That's kind of disturbing because he already built up his game around the league that, he was dominant. He had a dominant presence. You even heard Paul George. No, he was saying with the interview with Trey Murphy, they didn't have a game plan for Zion.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
think
He
that was
had
just
nothing
the
they could do with him.
Clippers? I think
Nah,
that was other teams too.
there's only two teams I saw that had a pretty solid game plan for him, and there were two teams with the unique pieces to be able to pull it off. Because everybody isn't Memphis or the Bucks, as far as what they can do defensively with a guy like Jared Jackson Jr.
Ah, I
And
thought you were
some
gonna
of the other
say
players they got.
Orlando
Well, yeah.
because
You
we
think Orlando really had a
the
game plan
the
for
Pelicans
Zion,
beat the
or
Bucks.
yeah? But they actually implemented a defense at least when they had Drew Holiday. I'm just going to the two times I seen Zion basically almost pretty much stopped. I didn't really see that last year with Orlando. Like it didn't look like they were shutting him down to me. We couldn't beat them as
No,
a team,
because
but
Zion,
they
he
not
has that
stopping
type of game.
killing Zion.
He has that
We,
type of game. Like he's gonna keep coming. He's going to keep coming. And I think that's the thing. It's like, dog, like we haven't deterred you away from coming to the rim. And it's like, no, you haven't. A lot of times when guys are getting those hits and things, that deters guys from going up in there. Zion's not built like that. Like, dog, I'm going in. The thing is that you can try to stand in front of me if you want to, but the thing is that I'm gonna keep coming, and I don't think you're gonna continue to take these hits because it's a two-way thing. Yeah, Zion, he takes a lot of hits, but he gives a lot of, contact as well. And it's like, man, I ain't trying to do this. So, I mean, over the course of the game, it can wear you down. It can wear you down. I don't care how tall, because I mean, obviously his girth makes a world of a difference. And
Right.
guys that have the length, they can't tango with that girth because it's all in their height. And since Zion can jump, you know what I'm saying, and he can do the acrobatic, movements in the air, kind of similar to how Kyrie does, making adjustments in the air and stuff. Um, it makes it difficult. And then he can move you out the way too. So,
Right. So
but
you don't really have a lot of people that can shut him down. But that's the only two times I remember watching him in Memphis one year. Where they that might have been when they had little crazy guy still over there went to Houston. What's his name?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. Yeah. But when you have like a real good perimeter defender and you pair that with a real good mobile shot blocker, they were kind of pairing up to go at him. That's pretty much the only thing I've seen kind of be successful with him. Which last year I didn't really see none of it work. It's just we kind of would go away from Zion and not make him the feature, like you said, far as him taking that back seat and being concerning. But I think some of that during the season earlier in the season was them trying to figure out ways to preserve him and make sure that he plays 70 games, So we still got the thing where they try to put the little kid gloves on him and baby him and, you know, make this work for as his conditioning and injury problems because, he was overweight last year. So maybe that's why he took a backseat, you know. But would love to be a fly on the wall in those conversations as far as what happened. But, coulda, shoulda, woulda. That could have had us winning another 3 or 4 games or so. We don't know what would happen after that because we wouldn't have had to play that Lakers game and would have initially been in the playoffs with a different matchup than OKC, and possibly Zion would have stayed healthy. So all of those small things could really change everything. But got the link in the chat, family. If anybody want to come in, chime in, speak their piece, say what's on their mind. We did this for y'all today. A lot of
Or
people were
speak your
asking about.
frustrations.
Well, we all a ball of anxiety right now. Everybody on pins and
Yeah.
needles trying to figure out
We
this
know
Brandon
there's a
Ingram.
lot of questions with this team right now, and
Right.
it's like being in between a rock and a hard place. So,
It
especially as
is.
a fan,
It don't have to stay that way though.
it didn't have to get to this point. You
It
know what I'm
didn't.
saying? It didn't have to get to this point.
Not at all.
That's what happens when you're not proactive and you're reactive. You know, everything. It seems like everything thus far has just been delayed. You really have to keep up with what's going on with your organization according to the trends of the league. And you always have to stay aggressive on getting better.
Right.
I think the biggest thing, and you have to excuse me, but I'm just being real about this. The thing is that all that, that family stuff that Griff talks about, the community stuff, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. I mean, the thing is, the foundation and the focal point needs to be on winning, mentality wise, as well as, from top to bottom. You have to build those habits. That's what you want the foundation of the culture to be, not family and community stuff. The
Right.
community stuff, first of all, that's a tax write-off, man. Come on, man. I mean, all these dudes make plenty of bread. So that's kind of like what comes with the job description. And then the family stuff. Look, if you're winning, you're gonna be family anyway.
And
So that
speaking of that, man, we got some family that then tapped in. We
oh,
gonna go ahead and bring in
it's
brother
brother James
James,
in the
man. What's
building.
going on, man? It's been a minute. How you feeling, James?
I'm feeling good. Shoot, just chilling. What about y'all?
I can't
Doing
complain,
all
man. I'm
right.
doing good.
Good to have you up in here, man. It's been a minute.
What's on your mind, man? We ain't heard no takes from you over here in a minute.
Oh, I'll go let y'all finish first.
Oh,
I'll
good.
chime in after. I was just like I said, I just ain't been in here in a while, working, busy. That's all.
That's
Okay.
good, man. Go ahead,
Now you
Lexi.
can you can go on. I was just kind of capitalizing, like, just the foundation has to be winning. It has to be from top to bottom. So that's basically it.
No, yeah, that's true. Like it got to be part of the foundation. I guess that's also a reason why they try so hard to uh, find particular like personalities and stuff like that. Like I know people laugh and joke about the whole family thing and everything like that. Like it's actually like a ongoing running joke that whenever they had put out that picture showing the what was that thing? Like we laughed, it was like we made fun of it, said like live, laugh, love, or whatever the hell it was, but it was like on
On the
in the
board,
practice,
in the
yeah,
gym,
in the practice,
compassion and
yeah,
joy
Oh yeah,
yeah.
and
mindfulness.
togetherness.
And like we laugh about that, but like the joke was that ever since they put that up, they were like 30-10 or something afterwards. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so but like it's funny hearing and everything like that. But you know, they have done a good job, have finding some dogs and Jose and
Mhm.
Herb Jones and Najee. He gone now, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
he had that dog in him and um those are the ones that help you build a foundation, but it's supposed to be around your stars. So hopefully, like at some point, they figure it out. Because if you notice, every team they pretty much have they come with the attitude that they superstar have. So it's on Zion, unfortunately, and the last couple of years he hasn't done what he was supposed to.
I mean, what you mean? Far as him not staying healthy, or just not stepping up all the way?
I mean, a little bit of both. I mean, and I say this: I'm not one of the ones that believe he need to do it the same way Ja does it or Ant does it or anything like that. Like I don't care how he did it, but the main thing that if you notice from both of them, the main thing is they did play, and so because they played, it made everybody else fall into their proper roles. Like everybody was wondering what was gonna happen between Cat and Ant because Cat had been there the longest. It was obviously his team before Ant got there,
Mhm.
and Ant comes in and he doesn't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna take over this my team." He says off the rip, "This Cat team, I hope we win this together." And then as he played more games, it was obvious. I hear you, dog. It ain't Cat team, it's yours because you here and the team looks a certain way as as you play more games and they kind of bring on your bravado and your attitude. Well, guess who hasn't been playing for the Pelicans the last 5 or so years since he's been here? Mr. Zion Williamson. And I'm a Zion fan. So this is me. Like I said, I'm not,
Mhm.
saying anything outside of what the truth is that if he played more,
Mhm.
Brandon Ingram has no choice but to step back. If he played more with his more, because I think one of the main things too is that the reason why he didn't step in and be a leader or try to be a leader the last couple of years is because it's hard saying something when you ain't here. It's hard to tell somebody, hey man, you need to run this, do this certain thing when I'm the one that's been here, you haven't. Like, so he took the back seat because he felt like I ain't been here, I ain't got no voice, I can't say nothing. But if you notice, towards the end of last year, he played more games. Brandon Ingram wasn't here. Who was the one doing all the talking? It was him.
Oh yeah, he was getting a lot more vocal.
A lot more vocal. Whenever you saw they had end of the game press conferences or end of the game like the little interview before they go off into the locker room, They talking to him,
Mhm.
and there's a whole bunch of people around him talking too. So you saw that as it goes on. So the more games he plays, if he continue doing what he's supposed to be doing, everybody, I don't know if y'all reported on this already. They said he was at the team gathering
Mhm.
they had last week or this
Yeah,
past week in California. He was there for the first 2 days,
right.
Yeah.
which we all know. Anytime they've had that before, he has not been there for whatever reason.
I
So
mean, Brandon Ingram was hosting them, all other ones,
right,
and Brandon Ingram wasn't there this time, and Zion's there for 2
and see, you starting to see
days.
and the other thing is too is that the communication outside of the organization or the conversation that escapes now that gets into the media about Zion and stuff like this. In the first time since he's been here, it feels like they're comfortable enough to say, yes, this is our guy, and we're focusing solely on him because he's finally giving them a reason to do so.
I got a question for you.
Uh huh.
Because I feel what you're saying, but we still have not heard Griff come out and say that and point that out. Do you think that holds any weight?
No.
Because obviously he said that with Drew, but when he has been asked that question twice about, it being Zion's team and building around him, but he's actually beat around the bush with
Right.
answering the question. So how do you feel about that as far as Griff, kind of, because we say it,
Right.
the media says it, but
Right.
it's like obviously Griff who's making the decisions, who's putting, you know, everything together, he's not saying it.
I
Do you think that
I think
matters?
it does to a certain extent. I think it's a situation where you still kind of got you still waiting, right? Like you still for him, it's like I see everything that you're doing. Let me keep my eye on it. Let me make sure. Like everything was looking good because even during the season last year, they said that after they got embarrassed in the IST, his whole dynamic shifted. Zion did. So it's like okay, you fixed it during the season. Let's see how you carry through the off season. And he
Mhm.
kind of did to say, like you said, he beat around the bush. He didn't just come straight out and say this Zion's team, but he
Yeah.
was sitting there like we need to now focus, you know, have a focused approach and everything like that at the his end of the year press conference and all that stuff. And if you notice, like I said, he didn't come out straight say it, but everybody else was pushing that message like this is Zion team, this is Zion team. Hell,
Yeah.
the person you traded for, DeJounte
Yeah,
Murray,
DeJounte,
first
yeah.
Yep.
came out and said he's our superstar.
And
Like
even then, it's like there was like three different mentalities as
right,
far as with that up there. When you listen to Griff talk, he was
yeah,
talking different than
right.
DeJounte, and the same thing with Willie. It's like there's none of them were in sync. And Willie, I
What?
think
Yeah.
Willie sounded the worst out of all of them. So
I mean, it's a situation where
And
like
Flex.
I mean, I don't recall what um Griff said, but I think the thing is, and I know what part you're talking about when he said it's gonna be a challenge and stuff like that. Which
Mhm.
again, like it will be. I don't care who the coach is. It's gonna be a challenge with you having five guys on your team that could score 20 points. Like if you think about it, the only team that's built like that has five guys that can give you 20 on any night is the Boston Celtics. Like
Hmm.
that's it. And so
Well,
it is and even then it's like people was talking about firing old boy that was in Boston because he can't. They said he couldn't figure it out because they said he was over his head last year, and then they gave him more talent this year to try to figure it out. So it's really more about at some point, one, you guys got to be there. Two, you got to have buy-in, which that's why they had to come to Jesus meeting last year when like everybody else was buying in except for Brandon Ingram and Zion. And it's like everybody else doing what they supposed to do. Y'all the only ones that's fucking this up right now. And so that's one of them conversations. That's again like I'm putting the onus, me personally, on the superstar. Like if you was here, we wouldn't have a lot of the questions that we had. We would have had a more straightforward direction because we can count on you. You can count on Job being there before the whole gun stuff, so we can build around him. We can count around Ant being there because he showed that he's not going to miss a whole bunch of games, so we can build around you. Like, you haven't shown us that, and every time we somewhat believe in you, something happened, and then it derails the whole situation. Now we sitting here looking like, okay, what the fuck do we supposed to do? But again, now it feels that way. But I will say, I think the difference between Willie and DeJounte is that Willie, right? He does. It will be a challenge to try to figure it out. I think what DeJounte was saying is that he's in the mindset that, listen, I'm good. Like, whatever y'all need me to do, if y'all need me to score 15 points and throw 12 assists, I will. I don't have to score 20 points. Like, and I think that was what his mindset was coming out saying, is like, you don't have to worry about me. Like, it may it may be a challenge for the other ones because, again, you got to worry about Brandon Ingram if he's not traded before the season starts, because, like, how do we get his touches? Because he is the second best player that's on the team. How do we get Zion easier touches? Which is one of the reasons they somewhat brought in DeJounte, is to get him easier touches. And then you have to think about Trey Murphy. Like the only two people that's really on the team that's somewhat low maintenance is Herb Jones and Jose. You just put them out there and just tell them go sick them, and they completely happy with whatever role you give them.
You don't feel like Trey is low maintenance?
No, I think he's not. I'm not saying he's on the level of like Zion and Brandon Ingram, but at the same time, he is. You've seen his mentality. He think he the baddest motherfucker that's on the court.
I mean, shit. Everybody's supposed to
It,
feel like that.
I mean, everybody's supposed to. Everybody's
Jose
supposed
feel like
to.
that too. He give me that attitude, like he the
I
best
mean,
out there.
everybody feel like that in the sense of like, I have to believe in myself. Like, I know Zion has that. Like, I'm talking about. There's a difference saying I believe myself good enough where I go on the court and I always make a play that I believe that there's no rotation that doesn't should have me not on the court. I'm talking about Trey as to sit there in the mindset that, nigga, I'm trying to take your job. like he been looking at BI job since he got here.
Yeah.
And BI even said that. Like, he said not last year, the year before the season started, he said that playing against Trey and seeing how quick he was picking it up, it was like, oh shit, he really on the way. And he had to sit there and bust his ass to sit there and say, hey, you good, but you still ain't here yet. Just to sit there and let you understand you still got a ways to go.
Right.
And so, and then, like I said, you hear Trey Murphy. You saw the video probably where he recited all 16 people that were drafted ahead of him in order. Like, he has that chip on his shoulder. And plus, like I said, he it ain't just the fact that he's due the money. He wants to start. Like, he wants to start. And
I mean,
he
because
don't.
he's still trying to get his money.
Yeah, and he gonna get his money. Like, it's not a situation where, like, everybody probably worry about what's holding up. A lot of these contracts, especially somebody like him, probably gonna get done like the day right before the season start. Like, I forgot who was last year.
So you think the Pelicans are gonna pay him?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's they probably, if you listen to like people that have talked that's probably close to those situations, some of them that like cool with Trey Camp or whatever, and some that know how to inner workers with the Pelicans. Both sides have said we good. Like, at this point, it's just more about, I think what it is, that they was hoping to try to get Brandon Ingram situated and have him traded before paying Trey because of the whole cap salary stuff. But they may just have to just go ahead and just bite the bullet and just say, F it, we'll figure it out by the time the season starts, but we still gonna pay you. Like, he probably gonna get $27 million a year or 28 or something like that. Like, he probably gonna get, well, some people saying he might get almost as much as
Yeah, I'm
CJ.
getting 30. They saying 30, man.
And so, like I said, he gonna get paid. Like, that's not a question. Like, he gonna get his money.
Looking at 180, 150, 120,
Yeah,
depending on
yeah,
how they break down the years.
yeah. He he got his. Like I said, it's really more at this point semantics. Like it's like, okay, you happy, we happy. Soon as we can get some other stuff cleaned up. October. When the season start? October 23rd,
Yeah.
October 21st. That
Yeah.
contract probably gonna be signed.
But then the other thing, with them, I don't know if it's this major rush what they feel like they have because we have his bird rights, so
Well,
he could go out test the
right,
market if you want, and whatever the deal is, you're gonna bring him back. I mean, but
but
you run the risk of somebody throwing like
but
200 plus mil at him.
it ain't even just the money though. It's the poison pill stuff too. Like people will put in certain things in contracts to like f you over, like to the point where you have no choice but to just let him go. Cause it's like, cause that's what they did with who was the team? I think Indiana Pacers had initially uh offered DeAndre Ayton a contract, right? And
Yeah,
the Suns could not afford him to walk away because they had no center and they were so far above the cap that they wouldn't be able to replenish him. So it was better to keep him anyway. But the Indiana Pacers put in his contract where he could not be traded from this point until I forgot what the other point was. So it pretty much left you like 3 days to trade this man. And you could not trade, and then you could not trade him one because I think you can't trade him to Indiana, and you couldn't trade him to another team. I forgot who it was, but they pretty much set it up where like the Suns were screwed into the offseason. Like even if they wanted to trade him a trade deadline, they could. And so it was like they was kind of effed up, and then they ended up making it work by trading him to the Portland Trail Blazers, so they can get old boy name. I can't think his either. But either way, but that's the thing that you don't want to risk, and you don't want to risk him, being pissed off for the whole off season too. I mean, the whole season as well. That hey, we're gonna let you wait for a little bit. So, and then if you pay him now, because the salary cap goes up next year and everything like that, that probably saves you about $6-7 million paying him sooner than waiting until next year. Because
yeah.
what you said, everybody's saying he probably gonna be $30-32 million. If he signs today, hell, next year maybe 38.
Well, I mean, they gave Scotty Barnes a 270 million. Scotty Barnes is good, but I don't
I
see
mean,
270 million when I look at Scotty
I
Barnes. But
mean, they don't
they
have
paying
a
him
lot of.
more potential on what he could turn into.
they believe they would not trade this man for KD. like that tell you all you need to know
Man,
about what they think about this man. Like
where you gonna find somebody that can shoot from the logo that efficiently? Where do you find that to pair with Zion?
I mean, you 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 can't. I mean, outside of Steph Curry,
He ain't
like
going nowhere till 2029.
nah, yeah, they locked him in. But like,
Yeah.
but you not gonna you talking about Trey, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
he's a unique player, but I think the fact there's players that are better than him, obviously,
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
the
Like to me,
with Zion, it's
yeah.
like it's a perfect match. Like
Which is
you
why you
can't.
try. Which is why the whole ordeal, like as much as the center thing, obviously is something that needs to be resolved. The whole point, also outside of trading uh Bi because his contract is up due and he don't necessarily fit with Zion, it was to also get the two wings that operate the best around Zion in the same starting lineup, and that was Trey Murphy to start as well as Herb Jones. Unfortunately, because of the season that Bi had last year, and we ain't the only ones that watch basketball; they did too.
Right.
And his contract is coming up. The it ain't a lot out there, and it ain't just a situation where I don't think he has no trade value and don't nobody want him. It's just the return, like what I need to get back, y'all not offering, and I'm not finna just trade this man for any old damn thing. Like I'm not finna just give him up to y'all for let me see. Like I know we need a center, but to try like we gonna trade him for like uh I don't know what's the backup center for in the Nets. I think Sharp or what the fuck his name is. Like, I'm not gonna trade that man for Sharp and Cam Thomas. Like, I need real stuff. Which I think ultimately I think the
Oh, so
trade
you seen that dumbass trade proposal too, huh?
yeah, like, like,
But you know, it tripped me
like
out. They had these trade proposals, man, where
right.
they sending guys like that back, and we still don't get a center.
We
I'm
don't
like,
get
in
a
what world would they trade Brandon Ingram and then not at least get some type of
and it
starting
has us
quality center?
sending out a first round pick or some dumb shit like that. Like, how did y'all really think? Listen, I know everybody hate David Griffin, think he dumb as hell. He ain't that goddamn dumb. He ain't finna do that. But
I don't think he dumb. I just think he the smartest person in every room he's ever
oh yeah,
stepped in.
yeah. He
Yeah.
one of
That's
one.
his problem.
Yeah, he be reading them better help type books and shit. But but my thing is that you know like the only thing I think you got to worry about is trade is more about the whole like how much longer is he's going to accept being coming off the bench. Like, that's my only thing. And I ain't gonna lie, to me personally, like, I know a lot of people care about that. I really don't give a fuck. Like, if you coming off the bench helps us win, motherfucker, you coming off the bench. I really don't care about your feelings in that regard. But like, I get
You
I
talking about
don't.
far as Brandon Ingram, though?
No. I'm talking about trade.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm talking about trade in that regard. Like, it's one of the situations like, hey, bro, he here. You gonna get 30 minutes. Just come out here and just shoot as many times as you want to. Like, you'll be all right.
I don't think Trey would trip on that, man. Looking at the situation and knowing what it is, you know.
Like I said, I think he understands the situation enough to where he not finna make it toxic. Is what I'm saying. But the other part of, like I said, the other part of it too is that Brandon Ingram for it to continue on, Brandon Ingram cannot be here next season, no matter what.
Right.
Like, they went into this offseason with the mindset to trade him. Unfortunately, they couldn't get real stuff. The only real plans that they really had that they could have that they really was looking at, and you can blame Griff, but you can also blame the fact that this team is stubborn as well. Is the Cavaliers? The whole plan that they had was, we're gonna trade y'all Brandon Ingram to give y'all another, pseudo half star, whatever, to pair with the team that you have. That way, so you can put Evan Mobley at the 5 position because y'all play better that way when he's at the 5. Some people discuss it being like I think it was like Bi and maybe a Najee or whoever else to trade to the Cavaliers so they can bring back Jared Allen and
Karis LeVert. That's what
no
they
no no
kept
no
saying.
no.
Now.
I kept
Max
saying
Crew,
the guard, the point guard.
Darius Garland.
Yeah, that's what I was
Nah, they
saying.
couldn't bring back both. That was way too much money.
They
That was
but they
impossible.
it well, Darius Garland don't, but that was just before Jared Allen signed the new contract. He was making like
But he still
right
was making
at
like
20
20
million.
million, though.
Right.
Yeah.
He was making right at 20 million. Darius Garland was making like 20
He
something. It
making
wasn't, but the
Nah,
thing
he
is that
got 200. He got the $200 million contract. Bi won't, but it's I think it's over 5 years, so it broke down to like 38 or
no,
30.
his
Like you would have
contract,
to trade either off of them.
did he get 200? Because I thought everybody was talking
Yeah,
about he
he
got
got
less, because
two.
he got less
He
than
got
Zion and
two.
Ant. Not Zion and he got less than Zion and Ja.
Yeah, but he still got 200 million.
I thought it was like 180. But
I thought it was the same.
it might have been. But
Because
like
What Bi wants is basically just like a little bit more than him. But
well, yeah,
Bi want
he
50
want
million
50.
a
Yeah,
year.
he want 50 a
Uh,
year.
Yeah.
Garland not getting 50 million a year. It's like
No,
broke down over like 5 years. So
I
it's
thought
like
he was getting like 26 or 27, but that
if
but
you try to trade Darius Garland and Bi, it can almost pretty much be a straight up trade.
well, it wasn't go. They Jared, but see, what the thing is that, and everybody knew this. A 1-to-1 trade wasn't enough. Like, Jared Allen for Bi wasn't enough because Bi is the better player. Darius Garland for BI is not enough because BI is the better player. So they were gonna send what my understanding was is that the Pelicans were gonna send Larry Nance, which was part of a deal, Dyson Daniels, along with BI, whatever combination of was to make the salary work, and they may rewire somebody somewhere else.
Oh, and get
Was
both of them.
you used to get both of them, and then they also, I think CJ was in a situation where they may have traded him too. Either way, CJ was going to go get traded or he was going to the bench because they wanted to get a younger guard and one that could get Zion easier shots, as well as, Trey Murphy and all that stuff. And if you think about it, yeah, it was a lot of money, but you got two dudes that's under the age of 30 years old under contract for like 5 years. So you would have Herb Jones, your starting five be Herb Jones, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Zion, and Trey Murphy.
That's awesome.
But the GM, when they brought in the coach, is like, we not trading Jared Allen because love Jared Allen. And Darius Garland ain't finna get what he wants, so he's just finna sit here. And they just
said if
down.
they re-sign Donovan Mitchell, he wanted out, and then he recanted all his statements and backtracked on that and said it was
because the thing is they also found out Darius Garland didn't have too much big trade value either. Like if you listen to Windhorse, who's real tapped in Cleveland, because he actually said this on their show, was they reached out there and tried to find a situation. He said there wasn't a lot of need for small guards because everybody already had one.
right.
Like they had one, and the teams that wanted one either didn't have the juice to get him, or if he wasn't what they wanted. Like New Orleans didn't necessarily want Darius Garland. The person they wanted was Jared Allen.
Yeah.
That's who they really wanted. They didn't give a damn about Darius Garland. It was just more about like, we'll do whatever to make the trade work and to satisfy y'all too, and we'll figure something else. If Darius Garland come with him, we'll just figure the shit out. That's cool. But we'll be completely content with
if they got rid of Brandon Ingram, they would have still had to get a point guard though, James. So whether they wanted Darius Garland or not, they would have been right back trying to get DeJounte too. We needed a point guard.
But the thing was,
let me go ahead. I was about to bring in Don Anthony in a second, man. He's been waiting. I'm gonna pull him up on the chat. But go ahead and finish your statement.
Yeah, I was gonna say getting DeJounte Murray had less to do with getting a guard than getting a more talented player that you're gonna eventually replace Brandon Ingram with. Mm-hmm. Like it was, because if you hear Griff talk, they don't necessarily believe they need a true point guard. They feel like Zion is.
But that is so stupid, because Zion, to me, out of all the dominant players in the NBA, he's one of the ones that rarely gets easy buckets because people set him up. Very rarely. So why wouldn't you want a point guard for him?
Well, I ask you this though, because I'm going down a list of teams.
Or at least a facilitator, a combo guard, something.
Who sets up Jokic? It ain't Murray.
I mean, Jokic kind of.
Yeah,
he's the engine. That's what I'm saying. He's the engine. Yeah. Okay, so you go to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Luka's point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think about the Suns. Their main issue was the fact that you had all scorers.
No point guard.
They didn't have
gonna make a huge difference over there.
They just picked up
But let me bring brother Don Anthony in, man. What's happening, brother, man? Glad to have you on the chat, man. Sorry you had to wait so long, but what's going on? What's on your mind?
What's up, fam?
What's happening?
Hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I was just sitting here listening to y'all for real.
Oh, all right. I just wanted to pull you in, man. See if you had some comments James up in here cooking, man, and we
Nah,
got our
James,
first
man,
question
nah,
of the
I was
night too.
good. Shit, I
Shit,
was
he
letting
hasn't
James
been
cook.
here in a while, so
I
he had a
know it
lot
been
to
a
get off
minute.
his chest.
Yeah, damn.
Hell yeah.
Speak on, brother.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I mean, James can keep cooking. I'm here if I want to, you know, if I'm gonna say something if because I know
I
James still
got
wanted
you.
to
I
say
got
some
you.
more, so
I
you
got
good.
I was about to say I can always wait. I ain't tripping.
Nah, you
you.
good, bro.
Well,
Nah, keep going. I'm a insert if I need to insert for.
All
I
right.
do have a question though. How do you all feel about the possibility of getting Kessler? Do you think that's a good idea? You know,
Um,
if that trade is
Oh,
well,
open.
it's
for
all in what it costs to me.
right. I'm about to say because right now we don't have a starting big, a quality starting big. So like Big Q, I mean like DC say, shit, it's all in what it costs. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, obviously that we know we need that, but it's like obviously too, we just can't be reaching for it too much
But
and
I
give up
also
something
hate
dumb.
to break everybody spirit on that one. But they just drafted Eves Mises 21,
Mm-hmm.
and him and Kessler are basically the same mold of a player. Like, would they do that knowing that they have a guy that they're building that's supposed to fit that mold that they
Right,
took
that's
pretty
supposed to
high in the
already,
draft?
yeah. Right, that makes sense that they probably could look at it
So
in that
basically,
way
And the
for
Jazz
basically,
want a draft pick from somebody.
You
However, we
think
pull this
you
trade off.
you see Kessler and Ease Meeson in the same player?
well, in a certain
No, I
sense,
see him. I see
the
him like far as the
defensively,
template of the type of
yeah,
player that they're
the
supposed
type
to
of
be. I'm not
player, yeah.
saying they play alike, but their intention on the court is to do the same thing. A defending center who gonna grab rebounds, not much of
Lob
an
threat.
offensive game.
Well,
Right.
that's true. That's true in a
Yeah,
sense,
that's
but
what I'm saying.
yeah, I feel it,
And
and I
they
guess
both young. Kessler is
yeah.
like 23, so it ain't like you could put him in and like,
Right,
all right, we're gonna let him cook until Ease Misi's brought along. Like, and you
right, and
got to
you're
pay
not gonna
him big
build,
money
yeah,
after
and then
2 years if he good.
you're not gonna build with both of them because they do the same thing. So it's
Right.
like, and then both of them young. So now that
Well, I
makes
guess
sense. What you're
I
saying?
I feel you, and I guess but the thing is, I think, and I know it probably make some people mad. I don't think they necessarily drafted him with the mindset
They keep him.
of they were gonna give him like real actual NBA run for the most part this season because of the fact that he's so
yeah,
raw. Like
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
it. I think they
yeah, he's
obviously
a
they
G
had
League.
planned on if they were gonna keep the pick, and they said they tried to trade up. They said they tried to trade up to get Klingon and tried to trade up to get Zach
Edie.
They
Edey,
got
but
Yeah,
they wasn't able to. So the next best thing was okay. We'll stay at where we at, and we'll draft this kid that you've been having your eye on for the last 2 years or whatever.
right.
So whatever they was gonna do, I think they still wanted to get Jared Allen. Once they signed that contract and stuff like that, they killed all that because I mean Jared Allen can't be traded until
yeah,
right
for
before
like
the
6
trade
months or
deadline.
something.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, to the trade deadline.
and that
So
goes over. Okay, yeah,
before. So he still can be traded this year. He just can be traded for like 4 5 months or however long it
yeah.
is until like January or something or whatever. So that was like, well, hell, that's kind of messed our plan up a little bit. And so
And there was no plan B
no plan B. And I think the other thing is that I ain't gonna even say
or
there was
C
no plan. I don't even
or
think there was.
D.
I ain't
Oh
gonna even say
man,
there was no
come on,
plan B.
Lex.
I just think what happened is that I don't think they expected nobody to want Brandon Ingram like that. I think that was the whole thing. I think it was just like okay, cause I think they had plan B's and C's and stuff
It's
like that.
hard to
It was
say with
just
Griff
the plan.
though.
The plan
Yeah,
B's.
the
I think
Brandon
was
Was,
Ingram.
was they handing out the plan B's to the players as they entered the
that's
league
terrible.
to tell them not get in
It
trouble?
seemed like they were scrounging for just, you know,
Cause some
whatever.
people said they wanted cause they had centers outside of Jared Allen they wanted to look at. They liked Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, I
They
don't
liked
understand
him
why they didn't go after him.
because because Orlando don't want Brandon Ingram because they got another wing that they just paid a whole bunch of money. They got another wing that they're about to pay a whole bunch of money in a couple of
Like, they
years.
probably like wanted
And
her,
They
and
have
Herb
so
and
and
many
guys like
bigs.
that.
It's like they ain't even gonna be able
but
to
they
find
don't
playing time.
but they can't shoot but that's the other thing is too with Orlando. Where Orlando struggled is they ain't have nobody that consistently make threes. You finna trade them Brandon Ingram, who also chooses not to shoot
Hey, nah,
threes.
you think
No,
they probably
don't say it too
they
loud,
probably
James.
they probably wanted CJ, and they wasn't willing to give CJ
Oh
for
no,
Wendell.
they would have gave CJ up.
Nah, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think, but
Not for
but
Wendell.
no. Obviously not just for Wendell. They would have had to do other stuff for it. But my other thing is too is that I don't think Orlando was like, we're not finna give you access for CJ when we just go out there and go get KCP. Like we have enough money to operate in free agency.
Mm,
We just made the playoff. We was the fifth seed. Everybody looking at us as this young upper team. We probably could convince some people to come down here without having to trade nothing because it's Florida. It's tax free out here, so you ain't got to worry about that, and it's pretty. Like we we ain't got to really
Don't
work
forget
that
the
hard. And at the
food.
same time, we know even if we sign some guys, we're still years away from being like true contenders. So we're not finna just bottom out like that. Just not bottom out. We're not finna just spend all our money up. We're gonna get a young vet, KCP. You still young enough to be around, teach us some stuff, help us get to the playoffs, go deeper. But we're not finna sit there and go all in on like somebody like CJ that's 30, what he is, 32 years old, still got 2 more years of his contract. Nah, we good. We're gonna pay KCP $20-something million and keep it pushing. And again, then you look around. If Cleveland didn't want him, and then you think about the other teams that came around, like if Paul George didn't choose to go to Philly, that could have been a scenario. You could have traded him there and then worked out a way to get your center from somewhere else to make
Yeah,
a
like
deal.
twin team
But
trade.
Paul George went there. The Clippers
yeah,
ain't got the. But now, okay,
Same
you
thing with
let
the Kings.
you.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Brandon, like I say, man, I think Brandon, unfortunately, probably about to work his way out the league. If you look at how where
Wait,
it's
hold
starting to
on,
go,
Nah,
hold on, man. You
yeah,
said
he ain't
Brandon
going out
Ingram
the
gonna
league.
work his way out the
y'all,
league?
yes, like
How do
y'all
you
not.
see that? Like, I mean,
Why
I
why am I
understand
saying
the
that? Because
negativity
everything.
on him, but
Listen, hold on,
that's
listen.
a little bit
Why am I
crazy.
saying that? Because it's about your style of play. Look at his style of play. It's
DeMar
too.
DeRozan.
It's too, bro. DeMar DeRozan can win games, bro. He can win
And
games at least during the
So can
regular season.
Brandon
During the
Ingram can
regular,
win games
listen.
too. Like,
No, he cannot. During the regular season, he can at
come
least
on,
win
man.
games.
Don't
Come
don't
on,
do him
what?
like
Come on,
he
what?
ain't.
Look at the
I'm not
resume.
saying the way Brandon Ingram
Look
play,
at the
you're
resume,
not gonna be
DC. For
no super.
DC, all love. But look at the resume, bro. Keep the facts there.
I got
DeMar
him up
can
here
win in
right
the
now.
regular season. Brandon cannot. He has not done it.
Toronto traded that man because that man
Bruh, he got to the
folded in the
playoffs,
playoffs.
bruh.
Bro,
I don't care about that. He
they're
got to the
literally
playoffs, bruh. Brandon is
in
not
the
doing
East, bro.
anything, bro. He's not doing anything. It's your number one
We
or number two.
Do,
He's
we've
do you
made the
clearly
play.
doing
realize
that.
We've
He's not
made the
doing it.
playoffs.
That's your number one
We
or your
we
number two. So
we
what,
made the playoffs 2 times out of the last 3 years because of Brandon Ingram
bro?
for the
What are
most
you
part.
talking?
and we in the West?
Lex, please stop. Why they getting delusional, Lex? Lex,
I'm
why they
Hmm.
not
getting
getting
delusional,
delusional,
Lex?
man. You
Y'all
just got
are, bro.
Brandon Ingram
Y'all are,
hatred on
bro.
you, bro.
Bro, y'all are getting delusional, bro. Y'all getting
We
delusional,
not
bro.
saying the man is a
Bro,
superstar.
I'm
We
not,
just saying
and
the
I'm
man
not
gonna be out the
saying you
league
gotta
in two
look,
years.
bro. I'm not saying he's a
Bro, that's
bum.
crazy.
I'm not saying he's a bum, right? But
That's
you
what
gotta
if he
look
gonna be
at
out in the league in
look.
2 years. That's bum nature.
No, that is
I
not,
think
bro.
the
That is
thing
not,
is
bro.
that
Bro. You gotta understand the league,
Hold on,
bro.
let me let
It's
him
like
talk,
it's
man.
like this.
Maybe he
Look,
got
look,
a
bro.
grand
It's like
scheme
this,
with
bro.
this.
It's like a Michael Beasley. Even though Michael Beasley is more about his attitude, but it's kind of similar to Bi too. Like, dog,
You see
he
his
can ball.
attitude is that bad?
He can ball. Not saying that I'm comparing his attitude, but I'm just saying I'm trying to compare like a guy
what
that's
his
similar to Bi,
mentality.
right? Like yeah, he wants to be the guy, right? But no organization knows that, okay, no, you can't come over here and be the guy. It's not going to work, right? But his mentality is still going to be the same. Same thing with Bi. He just wants to be the guy, and unfortunately, no organization know he can be the guy. He can be the guy, and I don't think he's going to take the back seat to any role like that. So I think he's going to work his way out of the league. It's not that he's a bum. It's just how things are orchestrated right now. That's just how it goes. And that's for NFL, for NBA, some players that happens, man. And then what happens is they do years later go by, they're like, man, I should have maybe came to the realization of this. It's just the mentality of it. I'm not saying he's a bum, but look, nobody wants him right now. Well,
He not
nobody
going.
wants him right
No,
now.
Well,
don't
let
nobody.
me
Why
tie
you
let
think
me tie
nobody
this
wants him? I don't
into
think
let me
he's.
Go
tie
ahead.
this into for a second. I see Big Swole got a question, and I've been having it up here for a minute. He said,
Mm.
"While holding on to Brandon Ingram stunt the Pelicans' growth and hurt us down the road." This topic is already going in that direction, so we might as
Yeah.
well answer this question too while we're talking about this, because
Mhm.
my man had already gave his answer. Don already said what he said, but go ahead and make your reply, James.
I'll go. I mean, to answer that question, possibly it's highly possible that him still being on the team could stunt the growth, or they gonna say stunt the growth, but just stunt the team in general because of like if he still continues to uh choose not to shoot the three ball and to help the offense be fluent and stuff like that, and then you kind of force our hand. It's like, well, bro, we can't bench you, dog. Like you got to do this. So yeah, that's highly possible because we've seen. I guess, like I said, to me, it's like a 50
Right.
50
His that
chance.
Yeah.
is
Like
bullshit.
he
Here's
could he could
Tobias.
he could do what he did the last couple of years, which not shoot the threes and his 3 points to continue to drop, or he goes back to his shot diet the first 2 years he was here and say, you know what, y'all right, I'm finna sit there because here's my other thing. I'm not at your point where I feel like he gonna be out the league in a couple of years, but I
Bro, I'm
do
telling you,
believe
bro. That's
hold on. I
Hold
do
on, let him
believe
finish, bro.
I do believe that he will mess his money up for the future going forward, where he not finna be this like you're never going to get another opportunity to get back to that level where
right.
you can be the 40. But at the same time,
And
he
that,
is
that
too talented. He is too talented of a
so
scorer, whether or not he shoot threes or
he is.
not.
But
For
will he
because I guarantee you, if you replace if you replace Michael Porter Jr. on Denver with Brandon Ingram, you might well wrap it up and go ahead and
no
get him the championship
right.
because
Well,
Right. If you
Because
can
Michael
get
Porter
yeah,
Jr. the only thing he could do is shoot the ball. He can't play no defense. He can't. He
and,
needs Jokic to set him
right,
up. Brandon
right.
Ingram is a one-on-one cooker.
If
And
you can no,
go ahead.
absolutely. You right. No, he can cook. He can cook. You right. He can cook. But is this about what BI is willing to do? Michael Porter Jr. is willing to do certain things. BI, will he be willing to do certain things?
Michael Porter is not willing to do a lot of things because that's the reason why they bitch about him a lot.
Well, first of all, they got champions. They got a championship. So
because
anyway,
of because of Jokic.
okay, we know that, man. We know that, man. But hey, come on, they got a championship with him being on the team. So anyway, that's the point. Uh, what you call him? But it's if Bi is willing to do that, of course he can be on plenty of teams and have a great position on that team, man, and impact the game, man. He's a talent, dog. I mean, I seen him coming out of college. I said, man, dude, pretty talented. I
Like he went number
really
2 overall for a reason.
was never really, yeah, he talented as hell, bro. Who wouldn't be excited about that?
Who
Six,
else was
eight,
in that
long,
draft class?
long.
Number 1 was Ben Simmons. Number 3 was
Damn,
uh
Damn.
shoot,
that was
who
a
was
bad
3?
one too.
Tatum.
Well, Ben Simmons supposed to be like generation until he did that bullshit. Like let's like act like the man wasn't an all NBA
Yeah.
player. Like he
He
Yeah, but
was,
was.
he got like what, four
he
straight
was,
All Stars or three straight
Yeah,
All
yeah, he
Stars or something
was.
like that.
yeah. And all
Yeah.
defensive team.
But I'm just
Yeah,
living in the basketball reality. You know what
Jason
I'm saying?
Tatum
No,
Yeah.
went
Tatum was third.
after Brandon Ingram.
I thought Jason Tatum went.
And I
No,
think
Jason
they
Tatum
went a
went.
year ahead of
No,
each other.
no.
Oh yeah,
Brandon
yeah,
went
yeah.
before
You're right.
Tatum.
That was the
Okay. He
next.
was
That was the
the
next year.
Yeah,
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 okay,
Yeah,
they went
okay.
ahead.
okay.
I
Yeah.
can't think
Damn,
who was
who
3
was third?
because I thought it was
Oh, you
Was
Tatum
it
know
and
what?
Brown?
Him and Jalen
Jalen?
Brand. Yeah.
Jalen Brown.
I
No,
thought
Jalen
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 Brand
Brown
Brown.
was
was
like
in the
7
same
or 8.
class, and Tatum was in the one afterward. Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's what we
Yeah.
getting
so
confused. Yeah.
so he was again like Brandon Ingram was seen as one dude. What I'm just saying is that the reason why I still have hope out for Brandon because at this point it's
On this
not really
team?
honest. I mean, for this year, for to start the season, because I don't believe he's
Yeah,
going
I
to
don't.
last beyond the trade deadline. But I do believe that he will help himself this year because if y'all remember last year, and that's why I can't go all in all the time because I remember a lot of shit that happened, throughout the season. And there was a point before, like there was like I think a month and a half span
Before he got hurt.
after All Star and before he got hurt, where Brandon Ingram was just doing all the little shit. He was playing
Mm-hmm.
defense. He was remember. I think he was getting blocks and steals. He was sitting there passing the ball. He actually, I think, at some point started shooting more threes. In situations where we complained about him getting hurt and probably leaving the game.
Right.
And I remember what was that? It was the New York Indiana Pacers back to back. They played New York, won. Brandon Ingram hurt his ankle, came back in the game, played. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's different because you like that look like a bad ankle injury. You know, he usually go
It's
ahead and sit
over.
that
Yeah,
out.
B.I. sitting down.
So then I'm also thinking, okay, back to back, they had playing troubles too. Man, he finna sit out day. I'm cool with that. You know, it is what it is. Now he plays. So I'm like, oh, okay,
Different.
this different now. I'm like, and they tried their hardest to win that game. And
What
so
game was that?
that was the Indiana Pacers game. They end up
Oh
losing
yeah,
by I
yeah,
think
yeah,
like
yeah.
15. But again, they came in late. No matter of fact, I don't think they got into like that
Is
same
that
day
Yeah,
the
they
game
got
was
in the
going.
same day,
was
man.
that the game?
I didn't even
That
think
was
they
the
had
was
the
that the
shoot
game that
around
we
in the morning. They wasn't even
that the game
able to
that they
do it.
beat us, or that the game we
Yeah,
flipped
that's the
around
game
and
they
beat
beat
them?
us.
Okay,
That's the
right.
game they beat us. So
Okay.
I was like, and I think they got down by 20 real quick. So I was like, I kind of expected that, and then they fought back and damn near got like I think 5 points within the score before some bullshit happened. They end up ending the game, and so I'm just like, okay, I see it. And every night I kept seeing more and more of it. And there was situations where like we played against Cleveland and he switched on to Jared Allen, and Jared Allen struggled against him. Like he was guarding the five that night, and like it just the only unfortunately they was hitting a whole bunch of threes,
Mhm.
and the shit just went haywire for us. But like he was doing a little shit, and then he gets hurt and a freak injury type situation,
Mhm.
and it's a real injury, not like oh he could play on this. Like nah, bro, like I don't even know if he gonna play the rest of the season, and he still chooses to come back and try to play, and that's why part of me is like maybe it would have been better if you didn't play for your money and health wise, and how everything looked.
Yeah,
But I
it
can't
probably
be
would have.
mad. I can't be mad about it because the last image everybody has is Lou Dort giving this man the business, and
Yeah.
so that's the lasting image everybody has. Not understanding this man came back early from a knee injury that he probably shouldn't have, but understanding Zion just fucking gave his life on the court versus the Lakers trying to help us win. So he gonna say, well, I'm not gonna just have us miss the playoff again. I'm not gonna sit there just hang us up to dry. I'm still gonna play, and if you play, we still expect you to play like yourself. But unfortunately, he wasn't, and he looked
Mhm.
bad. And then he ended the season bad on a bad note with the confrontation with him and Willie Green. And then you hear all the stuff going on in the offseason. So it's just been a bad year for that man. And I
Yeah.
hate it. And it's just like I said, I don't believe he's at a point where if he go into free agency next year, he finna sign a minimum contract and be out the league in a couple years if he don't pan out. That's not gonna happen.
No, I'm not. I'm
He
not.
too
I'm
he
not.
too talented for that. I
Yeah. I'm.
now I do agree that if he don't do what he needs to do this year, that that upper echelon of salary that he could make is now going to be depreciated. Like
Right.
you that $50 million, go ahead and cancel that, brother. You might well go and sign for 25 going forward. Like
Now,
Yeah,
now
that's
look.
DeMar DeRozan is a
But
perfect
how about this though?
example.
Yeah.
How
right.
about this? How about this
Yeah,
though?
because that was a
How,
steal by the
but how about
Kings.
this? You remember? I feel like because Bi just made a big post on his page about value, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
not valued in the
So
environment you're in,
right,
maybe you need
right.
to change
So he
environments
wants to
because
be
it will
right,
stunt your growth.
right. He want to be in an environment that values him. Now, his definition of
He
his own
wouldn't.
value, it might be a certain dollar amount. So I don't know. Maybe somebody overseas might give him that dollar
That
amount.
no, ain't
Nah, you
nobody
need no
paying
50.
nobody
They're
no
not
fifty
making that
million
much
dollars overseas.
Okay.
overseas,
And even
man.
then, he's not. Yeah, ain't nobody making like
I mean, you
when.
might as well be in the NBA if you're gonna get
Yeah,
paid
about
that.
to say like the whole point of them coming over here is the fact that oh,
More
I can
money.
make generational. Like the only
Right.
people
More
that go
money.
overseas
Yeah.
to make more money
Yeah.
with the WNBA because they were paying them pennies.
Right.
But
Yeah.
like,
Facts.
so like that's the thing that he not doing that. And again, like you said, DeMar DeRozan, like one of the reasons why, and you said, oh, he played a lot of games last year. What happened? What
Who,
happened in Chicago?
who you
What
talking
happened with
about?
them?
To my DeMar.
What do you
Yeah,
mean? What
But you
happened?
can't just. Well, I don't want you to just point out last year.
but you
DeMar.
said no,
But
Oh,
no.
that's
He
they
but the last
that's
2
part
years.
of it,
they
bro. We
picked up
see injuries.
Hold on. Don't do that. Why we y'all trying to compare him to Bi right now again?
No, I'm not saying
Yes,
he's the
No.
best,
I
but
was.
But
I am. But
GT
like
just
my,
said yeah.
but you brought
What
just
out,
said
happened with
yeah.
Chicago? They picked
Come on.
up Giddy, and he was upset about that. He was like, "What direction is the team going in?" And
DeMar
that's
DeRozan.
why. And after, huh?
DeMar DeRozan was upset about them getting Giddy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because he didn't understand that. He was
Nah,
like,
that
"How
was
is
a
that
weird
making
move.
us better?"
If he
Yeah,
would
he
for
wasn't
sure.
feeling
I
that
mean,
move.
I
for
think they
them,
was
it
looking
was
at what Lonzo Ball did, and then losing him, they kind of broke up their whole team. Man, having somebody
Yeah.
to
Well, I mean, Lonzo's
facilitate
back.
and,
He's
and
been
not be
playing
on
and
the ball.
Man,
some
Come
runs
on,
and
Lex. He been out for like 2 years though. Can you
yeah.
really
I
who we
depend
would.
talking
on
about?
I'm
that?
just saying. I've watched
Lonzo
some of
Ball.
his runs and things. He don't seem like he's skittish out there playing.
Wind
You know?
wind
We
don't
ain't
hit
see
Yeah.
back.
him in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm about to say when he get
I
that
like
I
rookie
know.
deal,
wind
yeah.
don't hit back.
I understand runs ain't the same thing, but
I
but
mean,
But
him
yeah,
and
you,
that.
I'm
you
praying
talking
for him.
about Bi, bro? Bi is a player in the game, bro, that can give you 25,
Yep.
5, and 5.
And showcase
That
Michael
that
Beasley.
that man, Mike Beasley
But
was not giving you 25, 5, and 5,
he
bro.
Okay.
I
could
don't I don't
he was,
believe that.
but Mike Beasley, I tell you this, and I think a lot of people would
He
agree.
get buckets.
Between Brandon Ingram and Mike Beasley probably the far more talented player. Matter of fact, he was more
Yeah,
talented than a
he
lot of
is.
players
Yep.
over the
LeBron and
Bucket.
D Wade
right.
said that
Straight
about
But
him.
here,
bucket.
So,
but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even just the attitude. It was the inconsistency. Like it was the situation of like, hey, I might get 40 from you today. Tomorrow I
Mm-hmm.
might get 5. Like that's the thing where it was just also that with him. Like and
Y'all
again,
talking like he had enough skill and his talent, but not enough skill.
it wasn't even just
well,
it wasn't even just skill. No, he had
Bro had
skill.
it all.
It was that he didn't have the want to. He didn't give a fuck. Like he didn't
Mm.
care enough about
yeah, it was
basketball.
maturity, and
Or maybe
and
not
that
even
was
not
one
caring
thing that
about
they
basketball
had
because he loves
concern
basketball. It was
anyway.
more
I'm
maturity.
saying, okay. It's
Like you said, Lex.
let me correct that. Not care about basketball because there's
Mm-hmm.
caring about basketball like, oh, I love basketball, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's Brandon Ingram and there's Brandon Ingram and Kevin Durant basketball where like nigga, I'm sitting up all night watching nothing but basketball. Forget these hoes. I don't get up nothing about nothing. I'm going to watch this basketball game because all I do is watch basketball. I watch basketball. I sleep basketball. I dream basketball. Michael Beasley, like whatever I gotta do to be better at basketball, I do it. Michael Beasley more
Mm-hmm.
like just put me out there and play. All this practice and shit, I don't want to do that. But
Right.
just throw
He
me
kept
out there.
falling asleep and
Right,
Right.
falling
Yeah.
asleep in
Back in the
meetings and
day.
stuff.
Yeah. Back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my thing when it comes to that. But like even then, like, and I keep bringing this up too. Like y'all talk about the whole Kessler thing, right? And going back to
Mm-hmm.
that, I feel like the Kessler would end up on this team two ways. Either they
Mm-hmm.
trade Brandon Ingram to Utah and get Kessler and John Collins because
mm,
there's not just gonna be one of them, it's gonna be for both of them, or they trade Hawk to get Kessler because
Oh, no, I don't want him to do that.
but why not though? Because at this
how else
point,
they gonna
I
get him?
mean,
no,
They
Willie's
I'm
can't
gonna
not
get him
using
without.
them.
no, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that because think about it. So
Willie ain't gonna be coaching this team anyway, so I want Hawk to stay.
but that's terrible because my thing. So here's my issue when everybody get mad that when a nigga can't shoot when a nigga can shoot threes ain't getting no run
Hold on.
because
You
he
got your
don't do
charger
nothing.
over there?
He too small. He can't defend.
Or you want to take
He
it? All
don't get rebound, but because
right,
he
all right,
score,
all
he
right, all right.
great.
I'm on the line.
But guess what? Here's another thing is too.
I can
Y'all
help.
watched him in summer league this year too. He
You
did
said I
not
watch
separate
what?
himself summer
But
league
but
when
To my Jordan
when
Hawkins?
Jordan Hawkins.
yeah,
Yeah,
but in
It
summer
but the
league,
way
But he
he
James,
was
they
no no
put
no
playing
no
him
no
out
in
of
no
a
no no no
situation.
wait
They
no
put him in a
no
situation not to
yeah,
succeed. They took his
yeah, they
how
lead.
really did.
They found the thing that he is the worst at. He's not great at being a point guard. His dribble game is probably one of the weaker aspects of his game. He's a very good rebounder, and he does play not horrible defense to me.
no
Obviously, he
he's
needs to
he
work on it.
he
where it's at.
But
yeah he
but
plays absolutely terrible defense. That man,
I
he's
mean,
the
I mean,
only
hey,
he listen.
James,
He was the
James,
only
it
negative.
ain't
he,
no
Okay,
different than CJ. It
he
ain't no
better than
different
CJ.
than
no
CJ.
no CJ
He
CJ
better
is
than
horrible.
CJ.
CJ
He's a
was a lot better
liability.
CJ was a lot better defender, even though it was not great defense or it was a lot better at defense than what Jordan Hawkins is. You don't want to believe me? You go sit
Huh?
there and go look at the numbers.
No, no,
I'm just sitting there.
I'm looking
I'm,
at
What?
I'm go on, DC. DC, hello.
He done caused BC to pass out off of that,
What?
James.
DC, yo yo yo. Jay Black, did you want to come in?
Oh, Jay Black in the building?
Yeah,
Man,
he's
bring Jay Black up, man. What's up, my brother? Jay Black, that's we
DC. Are
rivals.
you there?
That's my guy though.
What happened?
I made that
Man,
man
bring my
get
brother
so
Jay
upset
Black
he
up,
knocked
man.
his stuff over.
Uh,
I was just saying, like, if you think, I compare him to same, like, okay, everybody want to talk about Willis for like not playing those type of guys. This ain't just a Willie thing. This is a league thing because you think about what's the player that everybody say they should give like this player this much run on Denver a couple years ago. It was Bones Highland, right? He was scoring all these
Mm-hmm.
points and everything like this. But you kept hearing from the coach Mike Malone that he kept getting the doghouse because the man don't play defense. He don't get steals. He don't
Yeah,
do all this stuff we need
yeah,
him to do.
but
We
yeah,
have scorers. That's
yeah,
mm,
what
but
the stars is for. No, wait, hold on. So
my
they didn't play him. Guess what they did?
yeah,
They traded him to the Clippers. Everybody said, okay, now he gonna get to
yeah.
run stuff. But what Tyrone Lue gonna give him a chance? Guess what he doing now? He's still sitting on the bench. Cause why?
But
Cause he don't
yeah,
play no
I feel like
defense.
that's
Cause he
different.
don't get
It's
no
different.
steals.
It's different personnel too, because Bones ain't really fit with what Denver needed. Jordan
And they
fits
got rid
perfectly,
of him.
but I'm saying Jordan fits perfectly for what we need.
No,
So
he don't
the
because
what?
my thing he listen. There's a difference. His offensive skill as far as a movement shooter.
What?
Yes,
What? Yeah.
but again, there's multiple facets of the game
Right.
other than
His
just
pull up.
shooting the ball. The
His
reason
pull
why
up.
Trey Murphy, hold on, the reason why Trey Murphy can get in the game and be effective outside of just shooting the ball because he's 6'10", because
Yeah.
he's athletic,
Absolutely.
because he
Mm-hmm.
can get deflections, because he's long and he plays defense and
Mm-hmm.
get rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
Hawk is he's again, unfortunately, he's small, he's slender. He's not Jose that's compact that can stand his own.
It.
He don't get the steal that Jose does. Every time, as much as everybody bitch and complain about the units that Willie Green was putting out
I
there,
have a problem with Jose.
everybody,
I
hold
don't
on,
got
wait,
no.
no, everybody, it was a lot of people sitting there saying why is Najee Marshall getting minutes. It was a lot of people sitting there saying
Mm-hmm.
that at some point Hawk gonna steal. Because remember, it was a point that Jose didn't play. Not after, even after he came back from injury. That was the point that Jose did not play, and Hawk was getting all the minutes, and people was
Yeah.
getting mad. And I said, who minutes did you think he was gonna take? Hawk is
Yeah.
a guard. He
Now,
wasn't taking CJ spot. He was
now,
gonna take
now, James.
Jose. And
Now,
go ahead.
now, James. This recently, it was a small sample size, but in the playoffs versus the Thunder, I mean, I seen Hawk come in the game and make an immediate impact with the ball, without the
I
ball.
don't recall that at
I
all.
mean, you're right. I bet you don't, because
Oh, oh.
Willie put him in for about two damn
It
seconds.
was trash minutes. I remember that.
I about to say
Now, it wasn't trash.
I
No, it
don't
wasn't
But
trash
I,
recall.
minutes.
I, I went on a whole spill, but y'all ain't here
You
because
know, no, it
I
wasn't trash
unplugged
minutes.
myself.
DC, it
But
wasn't trash minutes. It was like in the beginning of the game for real, for real. It just he put
he
him in.
probably came and hit a few 3 pointers. But my thing, what I was saying about Hawk, man, is we have guys on the defensive side of the ball, a la Dyson Daniels, right?
He
Mhm.
gone now.
That I know, but I'm just saying he gave you literally damn near hardly nothing offensively. Got a little better last year, right? But we find minutes for him because his skill set and what he can do defensively is so special, right? Probably one of the better, on ball point of attack defenders in the NBA.
All right.
We ain't got him now, but that's a real thing.
A lot of people say
Now
he was better than Herb.
he was at point of
Yeah,
attack, like just
yeah,
being
yeah, yeah,
on. Yeah, he was,
yeah.
man. But as far as overall defense and everything I heard we do, hell no, it ain't close. But with Hawk, man, you looking at somebody that the coach compared to Ray Allen and
yeah,
Steph Curry,
that
right? This
I
dude is a movement shooter that can get the ball, man, jump in the air, be sliding sideways and hit that shit and do stuff like that consistently. You talking
I hear
about
you.
somebody that, to
he
me, the
shouldn't say
skill set he had, man, he's a pure shooter. He's not just one of those guys that can hit 3 pointers. This dude is made to be an ultimate shooter. Like if he reaches his full potential, he could be one of the best shooters in the NBA.
He can't.
Ever.
But here's again, when you aren't listen, when you aren't the top 3 or 4 in the rotation, I ain't five. I'd say 5, but I
No,
said the
no, no.
top 3. Oh, wait, look. the top three guys, right? Those are the guys like, okay, they can have some laps and stuff like that because they do other stuff so greatly and efficient that you can't compare, right? Well, hold on, let me go to another thing. Based off what I just said, when you think about what DeJounte Murray said about Pop, and also what Kawhi Leonard told him, he said, when you are a role player, don't worry about the scoring stuff like that. What's going to get you on the court, and this is everybody. This is why I struggle with the whole Willie Green stuff, because this ain't a Willie Green thing. This is a coach thing. This is what they do. The greatest ones say, motherfucker, if you are a role player and you can't come in here and do nothing but score or shoot, I can't help you. I need you to do the other stuff. I need you to be out there because I have Zion that's gonna give me 30 points. I have Brandon Ingram to give me 30 points. I have CJ McCollum. I have DeJounte Murray now. I have Trey Murphy. I have those guys that's going to give me the points that I need. I need a motherfucker that's going to go out there and jump on the floor and dive for the balls. I need a motherfucker that's going to defend and sit there.
You also need snipers, guys to spread the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
I understand it,
you
but
got a bunch of players
that
dive on the floor.
I hear you.
Have guys
I hear
that
you.
come in and just, hey man, like if for like LeBron, you know what I'm saying? He wants shooters. You still have to have shooters to spread the floor because that opens up the paint.
Exactly. He wants
that's
shooters.
The same thing with Zion. Isn't that not a role? Because you still have your Bogdanovich. You know what I'm saying? And they're not the greatest defenders.
I about to say, hold on. You brought up Bogdanovich. He played for.
That was just one. But I'm just saying.
No. Go ahead.
Kennard. Those are their roles.
But again, you talking about Luke Kennard on the main Memphis roster with everybody healthy is probably your 12th man. Huh? Your 13th man. Yes, he is.
Shit,
if you think,
it don't matter. They find a way to use him.
Let me finish. No, but he's not going to play this year if everybody is healthy. He's not going to play.
Who knows?
Somebody like Luke Kennard always gonna play.
Okay,
right.
I give you another example.
Well, you need shooters out there.
I give you another example. Not the year that Miami Heat made it to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And the year before that. No.
Which one?
Recently, it was when they played when they lost to Denver.
Okay.
Mike Miller.
The summer before, I think it was either the summer before or the summer before that, they gave Duncan $80 million, right? Because he could shoot the ball, he won for.
They was tripping.
There was a point where they needed shooting.
Name somebody else.
But he. Wait, no! You telling me to name shooters? That's what I'm doing. Everybody.
That was a mistake. That was one mistake, though.
Okay, every shooter. But see, that's my thing is that again, if y'all would rank Spoelstra as one of the top coaches of the league, you say he probably 1 or 2, right, in the league right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, that man Duncan could not see the fucking court because he was a cone on defense. It wasn't until they started getting depleted on injury to the point they had no choice but to put this motherfucker in the game. Like that's how it was. If you don't, and I skipped Duncan.
No. You see Duncan Robinson as a horrible defender. You think Hawk is as bad as Duncan Robinson? Because what I see in Hawk,
yes,
I see a guy who doesn't understand. Hold up, I see a guy who don't understand the defensive philosophy. He's trying to adapt or be able to learn how to play defense in the NBA. When you go look at Hawk in college, man, and you look at Hawk, his ability, what he can do, I think he has all the makings to be a very solid defender. I don't see him as this horrible defender. It's a lot of mental things he's trying to. I see him, he get caught on back cuts and shit like that a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he know what he's doing, he know where his help at, and he in front of a guy, people just abusing him. And tag teaming and keep going at him like that. No. That's what they did CJ McCullough though. But Hawk is not a dude, man. I think that's a horrible defender. He needs minutes and he needs to get comfortable out there. And I think you'll be surprised what you see. This dude, a borderline fringe guy that could be a starter for us in the future, man. He could replace
I don't see that at all.
He could replace CJ McCullough, man. Not his dribbling and creating his own shot, self-creation. But them 3-pointers, He
Nah,
could replace.
it's
He could replace CJ with that. I'm
he
telling
could.
you.
I don't
Yeah.
see that.
If
I
we
Be
don't.
trade,
more
if we trade
be
him,
more
James, and he
efficient.
go to somebody, you mark
I
my
think
words,
his
bro.
only
We gonna be fucking
deficiency is
sorry.
his
But
size.
I don't. But see, my thing this here is like, okay, one, when you build your team and stuff like that, you find out who your three core guys is. Everybody else is tradable anyway. I don't really give a damn who it is. Like, it's really more like if you think about the Celtics and stuff like that, they main
But
two
what's
guys
the
they
point
stuck
in drafting him? You know,
because you had the
in
pick
that.
and at the same because they really wanted to trade the pick, but it's just like, okay, we got the pick. Okay, what's the
They should
best
have
guy
did
that we
that
feel
then.
that, huh?
But they should have did that then. But the thing is that they talked about that year. They talked about how the team needed shooting. Like that's
Yes,
one thing. The 3-point shooting
We got
has been
shooting and didn't
hurting the
use it.
Pelicans. We heard that a lot
agreed. But
over the summer. And when they drafted him, it was like, okay, we got a shooter. You know what I'm
but
saying?
y'all
Because
keep
it's a shooter's league.
I hear all of that, and y'all keep missing my main point. My main point. If you're not Steph Curry, if you're not these guys that are world benders type players and stuff like that, they can break stuff. That like they will allow you to be lackadaisical or do certain things on defense because of the fact that you're so fucking good offensively and everything else as a player that we'll find other people to help you do that stuff. He is not that. So you have to find your niche in the sense because again, yes, you need
Well,
shooting.
then
And
Willie
but
Green
hold on.
definitely shouldn't have said what
It
he said
what do you
because that
say?
was crazy. That
Ray
that
Allen and all that.
he compared him to
But
Ray Allen
everybody but
as
a lot
play, which is
because of
crazy.
being a movement, he
It's
said
like,
the
dude,
way
because
he
nobody benches or gets DMPs if you playing like Steph, and that's
Yeah.
what he said. It's
but
like, dude,
but
that
he
makes
said he
absolutely no sense.
compared no he compared his style of offense as far as being a movement shooter, and he said there's not too many people that come in this league with those abilities. One of the reasons why he got the
Right.
fucking Ray Allen shit is because he went to UConn. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other thing is too. Nobody in the world believe this man coming out. He said he has that skill set that they have. He didn't say he was the same
Yeah.
caliber of type of player
there's
coming
a
out
But
way
of
it
that
still
college.
you
it
can
still was
utilize that though, James. You know what
That's
I'm
not.
saying? Like,
But
it,
if you're again, I keep telling y'all the same thing over and over again. There's y'all keep bringing this a Willie thing. I am telling you across the fucking
well, he's
league, the
the
best
coach.
coaches. Okay, let me finish.
But,
He's
wait, hold
doing
on.
this.
I'm gonna let you
Go ahead.
finish, but I
Go
gotta
go.
reply after you say it again.
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that the best coach. I'm not saying Willie Green is a great coach. I think he's an
He's not.
okay coach, and he need a lot of room to grow. I am saying that. What I am also saying is that the issues that y'all have with Willie Green is the same thing that every coach that are greater than him, that are some of the best coaches, had that same fucking philosophy that he also learned from, that he also was on those same coaching staffs that say, hey, motherfucker, if you're not Zion, if you're not Brandon Eagle, if you're okay, think about Steph Curry, motherfucker. You ain't if you ain't Steph, if you ain't Draymond, if you ain't Clay, you can't do what they do. I need your ass to get out there and sit there and get to do the shit. That's the reason why a motherfucker like hey Jose Alvarado is gonna
I,
be in the league for
I
a long
seen
time.
him hustle.
That's the reason why TJ McConnell just got paid.
But
And he's guess what he don't do? He don't fucking shoot at all. They pay that motherfucker because he hustled, he turned games
he
around.
got
Right. They also
solid
pay
offense though.
shooters that hustle.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
mean, but
pay shooters.
again,
But
if
wait,
you
hold.
can't
Let
shoot
me
a shoot,
reply. Let me
you
reply to
got to be
James
able to shoot though.
because he said this earlier, man, talking about coaches, and the main thing that
But
sticks
nah,
on my mind when you say that is those coaches you're talking about, James. They hold the players out there accountable. They
mhm.
don't look at it like, okay, this guy is just giving me defense, but he going out here and he's stinking up the joint offensively. They'll pull him out the game for that too. It's not one sided. Like you
Mhm.
have to be solid overall. Like you don't have to be the microwave score and then you don't give me nothing defensively. No. But you also can't just play defense and not give me anything or make bonehead plays offensively and leave you out there. And Willie is jaded when it comes to that. He'll have guys out there defensively and we can't get nothing going offensively. And you
Like
got
the
a guy
playoffs.
like Matt Ryan and Hawk out there that if you put him out there, you get you some points. Especially if you call certain plays or have certain things for the bench unit. where you trying to maximize or utilize that. Other coaches do that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Other
Now they
coaches,
not gonna have a whole bench lineup just full of shooters. Like,
Right.
yeah, you need hustle
Mm-mm.
guys. You need
You
some guys with that mentality,
enforcers.
but your whole bench lineup don't have to be them.
Yeah,
You
but my
need
thing,
situation,
but
somebody to
situational
put
coaching.
the
you y'all
mentality of a
keep y'all
scorer
keep
Situational
too.
coaching is
again
terrible.
y'all keep saying it. I'm telling you, when you have a roster, that's different when you have a roster that has all the shooting and some guys on there that can play defense, so they not a cone and stuff like that. And you just say, "Oh, I'm gonna try you. I can afford to do this, that, and the other." I'm saying if your team, and again, I'm gonna go to Denver. The team is like, listen, I have the offense. I have the offense. You know what I don't have? Like even matter of fact, it ain't even the shooting because Denver
Bro,
was one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the
bro,
league
even
last year.
our
So
offense, our offense don't
I'm talking
bro.
about offense. I'm talking about offense. They were one of the
Right,
worst
that's what I'm
3-point
saying. We
shooting
still be
teams in the
needing
league,
more
and
offense.
they kept saying, and again, I say this here: were they not a top 10 offense before before what's called them got hurt?
Who?
Because as much as because remember, I don't know if y'all pay attention to this stuff, but it's like the graph and it shows where they rank offensive rating and defensive rating, and then the way the graph goes is the further right that you go on the graph is you're balanced, right? Like you have your top whatever team defense and your top five, like the X and Y and X axis, all that stuff. I know I'm
Mm.
doing a lot of talking, sorry, but either way, for majority of the team after the IST, the Pelicans were a top 6 offense
Yeah.
and a top 6 defense for majority of the season. The shit didn't take a nosedive until Brandon Ingram got his knee hurt, and then I think Zion had a couple games he had to miss or something like that for whatever reason.
Mm.
So those guys played with the lack of 3-point shooting, with the lack of the space that we talk about, and they still the top 6 offense. So my thing is this here, yes, the shooting helps everybody and to make the offense flow and all that stuff. I'm not sitting there saying that we didn't need more shooting out on the court. We didn't need all this other stuff. I am sitting here saying that there are greater coaches than Willie Green. That if it is a situation that I need guys that can shoot the three and do nothing else, or guys that can do everything else but lack shooting, I am going to choose with this motherfucker because I need stops and I believe in
Yeah.
the other guys will make them. That's who they are. That's the reason why, like, if you want to sit there and say Willie Green may be slow to reacting to certain things, cool, I'm there with you. But I'm not gonna sit there and act like Willie Green is a fool for doing the same thing that the greatest coaches in the league sit there and says he does. So like that's my problem. That's where I have this issue is because y'all, and this ain't just y'all, this is most fans when it comes to their coaches. Like the main thing they always bitch at when it comes to certain stuff like the rotation stuff because they're not playing the dude that you believe should be playing.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
And
No,
so because
It's
think about it, because
no, I get what
it's
you're
the same
saying, but
thing, man. And watching a team make certain mistakes night in, night out that you can see. Like when this
Right, need to be
happens,
changed, and it
this
still ain't
usually
fixed.
happens, and then we lose in the fourth quarter. Which when this happens, or we're not leading in the fourth quarter, we have a 0-24, 0-27 record.
really
Okay,
is
so
doing away
let's do the
with
but
what
I
same thing in the
also
fourth
but
quarter
working.
we did last
yeah,
time and
but
continue
I
to lose.
but I also put a lot of that, and here's my thing, and
You
you're
gonna
right.
put all that on the players?
No,
All of
not
that?
all of it, but not all of it. My thing is here is that because here's the reason this is the other thing too that over too. I do not believe that there is any coach. I don't care how bad it is going to is going into the practices and sitting there and just saying, "Hey, we can keep doing the same shit over and over again." Like at
You
some
might
point,
be
yes.
looking.
No,
You might,
no. To a certain extent,
Now
might
you
they
be
do
looking
speaking
do
at
my
that.
one.
They
language.
hold up, God, I say to a certain extent they do that because the same way it's like, okay,
Yeah, philosophy.
you have to figure it out. Every team has a philosophy that they go by, and it's just like, listen, bro, at
Yeah,
some point you got to figure the shit out.
yeah.
Like the same thing he said, they talked about with Brandon Ingram, like the whole conversation with doing the playoffs, and they asking like how could he free him up more, and everybody got mad at Willie Green because he said like Brandon Ingram has to figure it out. He was sitting there betting. He even told him too, like motherfucker, you got the game the system. Like you sitting there bitching about fouls, bro. You have to sit there and foul hunt. You got to sit there and pump fake, jump into the fucking stuff so you can get to the free throw line. Because guess what? That motherfucker over there is doing it. And you see they grab and holding you. You got to make sure the refs see this. You have to. And guess what he didn't do? He didn't do that. So
you show Willie Green coaching them up and saying all of that though.
He said it, but my thing is
think he is.
But no, see, that's the problem is that like one, you can't assume one way or the other because one we're not there.
I don't think,
and I understand. But see,
sure.
but here's the thing: I have to. I guess this is me. I have too much respect in somebody that had devoted their life to do something on the highest of levels. That have seen everything. Hold on, that has seen every single. Hold on. See, that's the again to me that sounds like if I sit there to come talk about your job that you've done, so like, hey, bro, I ain't never did before, but you don't know the fuck you doing, and I guarantee you don't, even though I don't really understand what you're doing. Like that's to me, it's like, listen, I don't do because
you can still be.
It don't necessarily have to be that. It could be like, say, man, like, I see what you're doing over there,
and I've seen it.
Last time you did this happened, and you're doing it again. I asked you to paint my house, and then you said you were putting this as a base, and then you put that to make the color, and then you used this color last time, and it made the wrong color. And you're doing it again.
And I've seen
I don't have to know how to paint. I don't have to know how to paint.
Right.
Or how to mix
the painter do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can make observations of things that you repeatedly see happen over and over, and when one thing happened, the other don't.
Which is also the reason why, for the most part, they try to get rid of who this year.
That's Big Q.
but so what's up, Big Q?
He messing with me because I cut you off.
No. It's all good. You know, sometimes you gotta cut me off, man, because I get the rambling. But
man, we know
you got a lot of great information and insight, though, bro. We love having you here.
And I guess
you keep going like the Energizer Rabbit, man.
Oh, James gonna keep going, man. We'll be all here all night.
Now with Jay Black.
Oh no, I said no. I got work in the morning.
So that's the only thing stopping.
Well, what happened to Jay Black?
He got out. I said he could come in, but I don't know what happened.
He was there?
Yeah, he was there this whole time. He came in a little bit after Don did.
Let me see.
Yeah, he's not on there no more. He
right here. Yeah. What's going on, Jay Black?
You can hear me?
What's up, my guy?
Yeah. Okay, he is here.
Oh, and James Art Emerson is in the building.
Oh, wow.
I know had some classic battles, James and Jay Black.
Oh, goodness. You can go on and add another 6 hours.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Oh,
glad to have you back, bro.
I'm dipping at 11:30.
I was out. The Jordan Hawkins. That's what we was talking about.
I mean, we all over the place, man. The main topic of the show was about Brandon Ingram, and we focused a lot on that. But recently, we was talking about Jordan Hawkins, and James talked about Willie Green's defensive rotations being a plus because most coaches in the league do that.
Yeah. So I was here. I was listening to that. Okay. Now what I heard, they was experimenting with Jordan Hawkins in the summer league to try to run him at point, because they can't find him no minutes at the shooting guard position. The shooting guard position, because he don't play a lot of defense. He's not that good at defense. So they was trying to see if he could run point to get more minutes for him. So since he kind of blundered, it don't look like he's gonna get some minutes. I don't know if y'all feel good about that, but I don't see that.
He's not getting no minutes this year.
I
was just talking about trading him, me, Don Anthony, and I don't know. I think Lex probably feels similar. But I don't want him to trade him because of what he can be in the future.
But my question is,
it's the way he's being used, though. He's got to be used the right way, and this may not be the right situation for him. So I mean,
unfortunately,
I think it's all about fit.
But if you so here's the thing too. I say this,
man, that'd hurt to lose him and then Willie get fired. Man, would that be some shit?
It would be messed up. But like my thing is this here. So y'all believe the way it is that because y'all said you wouldn't trade him for Walker Kessler. My thing is this here. So you say you're not using him. And everybody been bitching all summer about the fact that we don't have a real center to start the season, and this is terrible. And this team don't have a center, we're gonna get our ass whooped. So you rather keep a dude that most likely not gonna get no run this year, and we still have a hole on center, and we'll keep that hole, other than to trade a dude that we won't play to get a center that we need.
Kessler's not the ideal
They're
center.
not trading them straight up either way. So it's like, why not?
I mean, they
attaching a pick. Why just send somebody else?
They salary, but the thing is that Utah obviously has him available and don't see him being part of the long term future. The Pelicans don't see Jordan Hawkins probably at some point not part of the long term future.
If he put weight on it, he probably would be.
Just after his
he put weight on. He could play small forward if he put some weight on.
He put some weight on.
Who can play small forward?
If he put some weight on.
Can I ask you a question though?
Develop their talent.
Can I ask you a question though?
Oh, sorry.
Has it ever been a player like you seen win you about 2 games,
right?
And the team just really can't use them?
Yeah.
Like who?
I gotta go through. Oh no.
I brought up Bones Highland. Bones Highland won a couple games.
Absolutely, that's a great comparison.
You remember a game where he won them a game?
He won a couple games. Yeah, he was averaging like 40, right? He was getting like 30 points, but he couldn't play no defense.
Can I name you the specific games and where they played? No, I can't name those particular games, but I do remember watching on League Pass when it's a situation where like Jokic probably the only person that, like, Jamal Murray wasn't there or MPJ were both hurt or something like that in bone play, or a situation where one of them other two didn't have it, and the only person that had was Jokic, and he played along with him, and he scored like 30 points or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean,
he won them games, and they still benched him and then traded him.
When I think about my guy Jordan Hawkins, and I say, man, Zion didn't play, they didn't play it. Then he go against Kyrie, and he had the most points in the game. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, shit. I mean,
nah, that don't get you the win though.
But my thing is
that don't get you more playing time, because listen,
I feel you, but I mean, damn, that's something to look at.
He was the number one option for that game,
right.
But
no,
when the number one,
Jonas was.
Nah,
I was about to say Jonas was a option, but they was feeding the hell out of Jordan Hawkins.
Hawkins was the number one that game, because they ain't really had nobody. We had a lot of people injured, so they didn't really have a choice.
We had BI, we had Jose Alvarado, we had Zion. All three of them was injured at that time, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe.
But
I think CJ wasn't there either.
Jonas was the guy to go through though. That's why Jordan Hawkins was getting the ball off the double teams.
But okay, so even if he wasn't the main guy, he was number 2, and he's never going. There's no situation.
But my thing is, but he, he had to go with Kyrie and all that. I mean, and he stepped up, and I mean, I seen that game, and I think it was another game, but it was just when he did that, I said, man, this is nice. I mean, we saw
Lonnie Walker cook the fuck out of Steph Curry. Guess where he at right now? He just signed a 10-day or whatever for the Celtics. Again, like, my thing is here. Yeah, everybody have their day.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I mean, I done seen him do it with Zion, and without. So I was like, okay, bro, pretty, and he a shooter, a lethal shooter.
You said with Zion.
Lonnie, I feel like Jordan can fit everywhere in the league, and then I mean, Lonnie's not really a big shooter.
But here's the thing. Anytime, but here's the issue with the Jordan Hawkins thing. Anytime Jordan Hawkins has gone off, he was either the one or the second player on the team because somebody else was hot.
No.
Okay.
About 30 points in the Nuggets game.
When we missing somebody in the Nuggets game?
Nope, we wasn't.
Nope. No, they was no, we wasn't. That was, and then that was the game that they ended up coming back beating. I know what you're talking about, but like, okay. So he can score. He can score again. Everybody, every dog has his day in the NBA. Hell, Corey Brewer scored 55 points or 50 points, whatever it is. So
And
like,
to be honest, you know what I need to see? I want to see how many games where he actually played and ain't really had about 10 points. And I ain't talking about trash, man. I ain't talking about backing. I'm talking about when he
Oh,
actually
shit, that's
inserted
gonna be
into
hard.
I
pop.
I
Which say?
I
Which I say?
I thought somebody was saying something too.
No.
Yeah, I thought Lex was saying something. What you say, Lex?
Oh no, you can keep going. I understand that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I want to see it. Maybe I want to see a chart of that. I want to see the record, and I want to see how many points he averages when he plays a full game. Even though shit, he barely played. Barely played.
I think with us, this the development, man. Why we want to develop so many guys?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
That's a
developing.
development.
I mean, but a
They're
lot
not
of guys
developing
in the
Because
nobody,
we
NBA
bro.
aren't
cheap,
coming
Jay
to the league.
Black. We're cheap. So we have
Yeah,
to
come
Yeah,
develop
on.
that's
people
true
to stay
too.
good.
No,
But
Because
we
we ain't
A
gonna
lot
pay
of
them.
guys, hey, Jay Black, a lot of guys are not coming into the league and they're ready. I think there was, I think just a few years ago, they said that there was about like 15 guys that were drafted in the first round that went to the G League.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was just a few seasons ago. Like, no one's really coming in like ready.
Ready. Yeah.
unless you special, unless you one of
Yeah.
Yeah,
them
unless you're
one.
special. But it's like you're seeing that the league is trying to create stars. They're not just coming in. Like they're trying to create them now. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, a lot of guys, they say that a lot of guys that come in, they have they have offense, some type of offense.
Of
And they
course,
say
yeah.
this about all rookies. But defensively, no one is at the level that they need to be at defensively in the NBA when they're coming into the league. That's something that's been consistent. So I mean, you can't expect all these rookies coming in. Like obviously you have ones like Herb where his specialty and his focal point was defense. You do have gems like that do come in. But a lot of guys, they're more offensively minded. They don't
Yeah.
have
Facts.
they haven't developed that defensive prowess, even a 25% of it, or
Yeah.
take your pick. But the thing is like all of these guys need development in some way, form, or fashion. Look, we just drafted Yves Misi, and we just said that he's gonna
Big
be
science project.
he's gonna be in the G League. That
yeah.
dude has not played a lot of basketball. He needs reps. He's
He,
not ready.
he getting reps in the G League. He don't need reps
Yeah.
in a game that's important. That if we lose because of him, then we gonna be highly upset. We gonna be highly upset if we lose because of him. Then y'all gonna say, why would y'all playing him? Then y'all gonna say it's Coach Willie Green doing some dumb shit. Y'all gonna complain about it's damned if you do it, damned if you
And he gonna
don't.
be fired real
Look,
soon,
the thing
bro.
is, some guys like Yves Misi, he's played basketball since he was 16.
That's cool.
Okay, so the thing is, it's not for like somebody else who's played 8 years, and there's different levels of as far as the reps. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And the thing as far as the readiness in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And as far as his readiness, like putting him out there, it doesn't make no whole lot of sense.
So I say he not gonna. He obviously, well, I ain't gonna say obviously because you know how the team is when it comes to injuries and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
if in the perfect world, he will spend majority of the first half of the season playing the G League because he need to get the run, but he's not quite there yet at the NBA to do the stuff. So that's okay. The other thing is too is this. Yeah, it's a cheap thing, but it's a thing that a lot of these teams are going to do now with the way this second April stuff go because you a lot of the teams are going to try to avoid that second April because of how crazy it is. So what's your next alternative? Well, it's what Denver is doing. We're not going to resign KCP. We're not going to resign Bruce Brown. You know what we're going to do? We're going to draft either a 4-year player that played a couple years and come in and see how he does, or we're going to draft a guy that we believe that we could develop eventually to take over that spot that's only making $4, $5, $6 million compared to paying
They can do that
KCP.
though.
So no. But here's the thing: you say they could do that, but a lot of people said that one of the reasons why they may have flamed out sooner than later that everybody thought they would have is because of the fact because they didn't bring back certain guys that gave them a lot. The Bruce Brown and other people that they didn't bring those guys back, and then they doubled down this year and did the exact same thing again by letting KCP walk out the door. So there's a lot of people that's like, yeah, we believe they're gonna be one of the top teams. But it's a lot of shit that those rookies y'all drafted didn't develop like y'all thought. They didn't take the leap that y'all thought they were going to take to replace what Bruce Brown did. And then you're going to bet again that one is going to replace KCP, which is your second best defender and probably your best, second guard and stuff like that. That's no bueno. But again, when you have a guy like Jokic who plays and make everybody else better around them, and you just won a championship, you have that leeway. The other thing is too is that when you are like the issue with the Pelicans when it comes to developing talent now is that we're past that stage. We're at the stage of trying to win now, and so if you're not going to give us stuff that can help us win now, whether or not like it don't have to be. You don't have to give us 30 minutes. If you can give us 15 minutes of you just out there just hounding the shit out of the second unit guy or make it a living hell, guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to give you more responsibility. I'm going to give you more runway. I'm going to give you more minutes and stuff. And see, that's the thing too. Everybody laughed at jokes like, oh, he a Willie Green guy because you might well kiss them Hawk minutes
that's
goodbye.
True. That's true
But that's true. But here's the thing. You gonna let I'm not finna get mad at Willie that this motherfucker came out there and took this nigga spot. That he came out there and he hustling because I tell you what else, the Chicago Bulls, them fans, they love the shit out of Javonte Green and hated that motherfucker left.
Yeah. I just like I said, I don't have a problem with him playing. It's just situational.
Javonte Green gonna be awesome, man.
Oh,
straight up.
And he's super athletic.
I like him.
Yeah, he got an offensive game too, and play defense.
Yeah, he does.
So.
Yeah,
and here's the other
all-around player, man.
Yeah.
And like Joe Black just said, here's the other issue is that okay, you traded for DJ, right, which pushes CJ McCollum to the bench, right?
Are we sure that?
No. He going to the bench. I promise you.
How you know?
You know about political.
I got 33 million reasons why he not.
He got 33 million. The reason why he don't give a fuck.
33.
Listen. No. Listen. No, I'm gonna tell you. Here's the reason why I truly believe. That it's going to truly believe. I for one, I think I don't want to say too much.
Yeah. Who you starting lineup there?
No, the starting lineup gonna be if BI is not traded. It's gonna be most likely Tice, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and DJ. Because if you
DeJounte Murray, Herb, BI, Zion, and
Tice.
Tice.
If Zion, because I think they want to play small. I don't think they're gonna start having Zion or somebody that's playing the center position like people think they is. I think they're gonna put out Tice. If they don't, there's some people that think they go start Zion in center, but I don't believe that. But
if they want to maximize the man, they don't want to do that.
No, they're not gonna do that. So that's the reason why I still think unless
starting them at center certain games, that's what I think would be like. You know, small.
Everybody keeps saying it, man. I wish people.
I still wouldn't start him. I don't want him banging with centers because I ain't trying to put no more wear and tear on his body.
A team that's they got a center. They running small. Somebody who don't bang or if you got a center that's. Just somebody who catch alleys. He ain't got no post game.
So you saying like an Indiana?
Yeah, you might be able to get away with it with Miles Turner, maybe, but maybe not.
Ain't banging down
and I get it.
It ain't a lot of teams you could say that though.
Yeah, but I get it. Like it may alternate depending on, like I said, if they don't make the trade to get the actual bid currently constructed, the way the team is. That is who I believe is coming up. Because this is what happened. CJ McCollum, as much as people killed this man last year, for like the first 50% of the season, he was probably our best player.
Oh yeah,
and he was the
not
he
in the
was the most.
playoffs, but he was nice in the regular season.
But see, that's the thing is that okay, we've had to use every ounce of CJ that we need the last couple of years because certain people wasn't showing up. So now you have a situation where, like, let's say we believe that Zion gonna have everything that we've seen and heard is continue to translate, and he's going to do what he's supposed to do, right? Okay, so this is what you do. Now, instead of me needing 33, 36 minutes from you, Mr. CJ, Mr. 32-year-old CJ, how about you go to the bench and then you get the chance to cook against the second team? And you get about 25, 27 minutes, and we can have you rested up and you don't have to burn yourself out throughout the season. Plus, again, another thing is too, you said there's 33 million reasons why he shouldn't go to bench. There's 33 million dollars the reason why he can go to the bench, because guess what? I'm paid and I don't give a fuck now because I have my money. And at the same,
you know,
You think Mr. I've been to the playoffs every year of my career?
Yeah, James.
I've been a starter my whole career.
I ain't gonna lie.
That dude ego
I ain't gonna
big,
lie.
man.
Now that you put it like that, I kind of agree with you a little bit, James.
I guarantee I
kind of agree with you a little bit.
I think. See, but here's the thing.
I want it to happen.
No, here's the reason why I believe it.
Our coach got
they probably already had a conversation. They probably already had a couple. See, here's the reason why I believe this. As much as everybody say, Mr. This, that, and the other, last off season, Willie Green told CJ what? Hey man, you getting older. You have to come in a lot better shape than you always have. We need you to play off ball more off this season because that's where you better at. And guess what? When Zion and Brandon Ingram was playing, he played off ball and he shot more catch and shoot threes, and he was in a better shape than he was at any point. He looked better when he came in. He played better. He did what they asked him to do. So my thing is here: if they sit there and they, because think about it. You have to come off the bench now because we have DeJounte Murray now. Brandon Ingram ain't going nowhere, and you're not a wing. So even if we traded Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy is taking that spot. We sure the fuck ain't taking Herb off the goddamn lineup with his defense. And at the same, and you have Herb ain't going nowhere.
But check this out, though, James. Right? Like you gonna have no elite 3-point shooting in a lineup with Zion. It don't make sense. Like as much as I want the Herb in, and I think he should be the starter. But with BI there, it's like it really should be Herb and Trey. Like you need somebody to be elite 3-point shooter.
Nah, because last year our best lineup, like I said last year, was Dyson Daniels,
Trey Murphy, and Herb, man.
Nah, it was Dyson Daniels, it was Herb, it was B.I., Zion, and Valanciunas. That's when CJ went down.
How many minutes we ran that?
we ran that for 12 games straight.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though too is that the last couple of games you saw the flaw when Dyson Daniels don't look at the rim and he can't shoot the ball. So like it was good for a run. And then what happened is that because what the part that people didn't acknowledge, the reason why they were so successful is because Herb Jones and Dyson Daniels was getting a lot of steal and they was running.
Yeah, they
was when the games that they could not get steals and get deflections, Dyson Daniels struggled heavily because once we got in the half court offense, he was pretty much, useless because again he had the Lonzo Ball effect when he first got here, where he don't look at the rim. But unfortunately, he couldn't shoot like Lonzo.
I ain't gonna lie, Herb Jones might be a little more lethal this year. Don't sleep on that.
I mean, I like Herb, but we can't act like Herb is a certified shooter.
You know what I mean? His form can he has a nice form.
So here's the thing. So he did. You right. We can't sit there because what happened?
We can't do what?
Oh, I would say you right that we can't necessarily just automatically count that Herb Jones' shot has been fixed. This will always be him. There will always be that fear of maybe this was a one-off. But even if because he shot,
I don't think it's a one-off.
But what I'm saying is that even if he, like, let's say he dipped from he shot damn near, I think it was 40+% from the three, and he was shooting most of them from the corner three. So let's say no fear. So let's say it drops to 38%. I don't care how many threes he shoot, they're always going to leave him because you have to trap you. It ain't even just about him, his history. You can't guard everybody. And so you're going to allow Zion to cook one-on-one, then good luck with that. You dead to the world. You finna allow Brandon Ingram to cook one-on-one? Okay, good. Have fun with that. So you have to, most teams that the whole reason why they have the whole point of stars and stuff like that is to get the advantage where they forces the defense to shade one way or the other to have advantages on the other side. So Herb is always going to be left open no matter what happens. That's just the nature of the business. You've even seen situations too that if Zion is out on the court, how many times we see Trey Murphy get wide open threes, knowing this motherfucker is a 40% 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they stopped giving them to him at a certain point when you have it going, especially CJ, man. They
stopped that
giving
in the
CJ
playoffs.
just because
they stopped that in the playoff because they didn't have to. There was no threat. There was no Zion that was going to like cook you and go for 50 because you allow him to play one-on-one, and now he's collapsing your defense and spreading everybody. Because of Brandon Ingram being hobbled, they was able to defend him one-on-one with just Lou Dort and have everybody sit and stay
No,
where they were supposed to be.
they OKC always defend us that way. They don't
And
never. They don't.
And guess what? When Zion plays, they struggle.
No, they don't. They was beating us.
We beat them. Okay, the two games that we played against them when Zion played and Brandon Ingram missed both fucking games. Right? They New Orleans beat them at home, and then they came back and was about to beat them. They tied. I think they tied the game up. No, they took the lead. I'm lying. They took the lead versus OKC.
And won one game.
And no. We only played. How many times we played OKC? 3 times.
I don't even know, to be honest.
I forgot.
I just remember they came back and won.
I know Brandon Ingram. Not Brandon Ingram. I know Zion didn't play the game. One of the games we lost. I think we ended up 2-1 versus down 2-1 versus OKC. But the 2 games that Zion played, I'm talking about them because that's obviously the superstar and that's the world breaker. When he plays, they do not have the guy because everybody talk about Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams could not handle this man.
Hell no.
Chet Holmgren could not keep this man from the rim because again, Zion don't stop. He don't give a fuck how many times you block his shot. He's consistently going to attack the rim. So that wasn't stopping anything. Yeah, right. So every time that Zion has been on the court and we've played OKC, they are in hell. So that's the thing is that when Brandon Ingram plays, and again, this ain't really a knock on Brandon Ingram. It's just the fact that they can defend him easier because
Brandon the perimeter.
Right, the perimeter. He's a long, lanky defender. Not that like for the long, lanky player. So
they can move.
They can move. You put length on him and stuff like that. And plus, Brandon Ingram ain't the most super athletic player, so you can defend him.
Absolutely.
You can't. They don't have nobody that can do nothing with Zion, and so. And I'm not sitting there saying this in the sense of like, okay, we're easily can beat OKC. That's not what I'm saying. We probably still would have lost that series even if Zion played. I just think it would have been a sweep. It probably would have went to 6 or 7.
Which is why we should have went to JV more.
But they did. But see, that's the thing is that. But here's the thing: they did go to JV, but the issue was that no.
Yeah, they benched him the last game. We got swept. They benched him.
The reason why they stopped. Hold on. The reason why they stopped. The reason why they stopped going to JV is because they played into a strength. Because my thing is here, okay, y'all finna dump it down to this big lumbering motherfucker. JV not finna beat us. He's not finna beat us. So if you want to keep, he was not.
Man,
he got like 20-some points,
and they still won.
We were
because they benched him. They benched him in the fourth. He ain't come back in the fourth. Let me go back.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I'll look it up right now.
There was a plan. There was a point in one of the games that they were feeding JV, and JV was doing well, and he was getting all this points.
What game are you referring to? The playoffs?
I'm saying the playoffs.
I'm talking about the playoffs.
Yes.
There was a point they fed him because Chet could not guard him, but the problem is that guess what? Okay, you're getting his twos. We're hitting threes on the other end. That don't matter.
Right, but that's what they was wasting possessions where they will go like a couple possessions without even giving it to JV.
I'm telling you right now, every team, if you sit there and you go in a situation and you tell them, hey, they're going to feed JV every single play down because we don't really have an advantage to really stop him. Guess what the team's going to say? Okay, great, cool. Let him have it. Like we not because he's not Jokic. He's not Embiid. He's not going to do enough to sit there and win the game. He can have 50. We're still going to win this game.
I don't know
let
about
that
that.
happen.
Nah.
Okay.
Let it happen then.
Yeah,
let it happen.
Because my thing is
here.
here. If you sit there, let me think about another team. Okay, I'll give you do you think that, let's say, the fuck that team is the Timberwolves. Let's go with Timberwolves. Let's say
here y'all
they
game right here. This game too. JV led the team in scoring.
Talking about JV?
Yes, and they were blowing us out with him on the court.
But no, bro.
They were blowing us out with
minutes though. He played 23
but the
minutes.
20, but in the first half, most of his minutes he played that 23 minutes he played, and we were down by 20, brother. That's my point. They didn't care.
Though, man. That's that one game. And
no, what was the first game? I'm trying to look at the first game because the first game
was the Trey Murphy game, man. That's when Trey Murphy had it going, and CJ wound up taking the last shot of the game, and everybody was like so confused and upset because Trey should have took that shot. No, that was this game right here, 92-94.
Jeez,
we pretty much had that game and kind of let it slip away.
But again, my thing this is also the reason why I'm like, Zion, brother, you got to be there because all this other shit don't matter if you're not
we
here.
Know that.
But then again, I go back to it, to Timberwolves. If they decide, like if OKC go into the matchup and say, guess what? We're going to make sure we try to we're going to do everything we can to take away Ant and Cat, and we're going to succeed at that. And then the Timberwolves find that, hey, every time we go to Rudy Gobert, because he's bigger than Chet, he scores. So let's just keep. No, wait. So let's just keep feeding
no comparison though.
But my thing is, my point is that if a team will will live with you giving it to a guy just because he has an advantage doesn't matter. But guess what? Because he's not that guy.
That first game, Trey Murphy had 21, CJ had 20, Valanciunas had 20 rebounds and 13 points. Come on, you gotta keep feeding them.
Right,
20 and 13.
Again,
he was you're just trying to win a game. You're not saying that you're going to keep doing this every game of the series.
I need y'all to go back. Okay, I want y'all to please go get back the league pass. Go back and watch that game.
I can leave back.
Hold on. Go back and watch the first half when they was feeding Jonas that second game that he was cooking. Go watch what the score was.
Bro, first of all, it was game.
What does it matter if
he had the best? He had the best plus and minus, bro.
He had the best
starting lineup that second game, so I don't think all of that was just like.
I'm not blaming, but I'm not blaming. Okay. So y'all take it what I'm saying and saying I'm blaming JV. I'm not blaming.
No.
I'm saying what I'm saying is that a team, if I'm OKC, and you have Brandon Ingram, and you saying that because the way Brandon Ingram is playing right now, and you're going to feed him. Hey, you may get a game. You're not winning the series this way. You're going home regardless because we're going to be 100% okay. It's the same situation that if I have to pick and choose who I let get off. Because you can't, like I said, they said you can't defend everybody. Antonio Daniels said this on every broadcast. You can't defend everything. You have to give something up. So if the thing for me as OKC to give up is to let JV cook, motherfucker, I guarantee you, nigga, we're going to win this game.
This is what you're referring to because Chet had 26 points on 13 shots. So that's crazy.
He couldn't stop because he couldn't stop. That's what I'm saying.
On the other end, he was cooking.
Minutes. On the other end, he was cooking because the game before, the game before, Herb was guarding Chet.
The fourth game did all the damage though. The fourth game. He had 26 minutes, 13 points, 19 rebounds. No, 19 points, 13 rebounds. Listen, man, I don't know. And nobody else was giving us production. if nobody else giving us production,
I
Bi wasn't scoring,
understand.
but
I
Bi had
understand
8
that.
points in the fourth game. Trey Murphy had 7 points.
Man, we never
CJ
scored
had
100 points
20.
in this series, man. That's
Listen,
crazy.
but my thing, So here's the thing. Again,
Listen,
bro.
I
I,
understand. I
All we saying,
understand all that. I'm just saying is that I don't care. They could have fed. I guess my point is this:
James, could
they
have
could have fed JV
when
100
you
times
would.
that game. It wouldn't have made no difference.
Well, guess
no,
what?
I don't
that,
care.
But you,
that's not the truth
right?
though.
That's not the
Okay.
If that
truth.
was the truth, because
Okay.
they didn't do that.
They didn't.
That's what we're saying.
They
If they would have, they'd
And
have had
every
a
time
better
they
chance
did,
of winning.
and every time they
okay.
did, it was
And,
dominant.
and we wouldn't be in this situation if we won one game. We wouldn't be talking about all this crazy scenarios because we would have said, "Yo, all right, we at least got one game." At least
Nah.
we wouldn't be
It
talking.
wouldn't.
They wouldn't be talking this bad about Willie Green and his coaching if he had at least won one game.
They don't care.
Saying
Listen, the
you could have
fact
went
that
through.
they know the only way that this wouldn't have been to the season the way it was, like if he had won one, what he won for, people was pissed off the fact that we won 49 games and we still had to play in the play-in. Like, despite the fact that we haven't won 49 games in the
Well,
history
nah,
of the
because
NBA,
Zion was
of our.
injured, so
No,
nah.
no, no. But see, that's my point. Again, I am coming back to the main thing all the
Okay.
time. My thing is this here. I don't. Brandon Ingram being hobbled, he ain't who he is. The
Yep.
next best player that we have is either CJ McCollum or JV, and they sat there and said, "Listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play y'all 1-on-1." Because at first they started off trying to trap Brandon Ingram. They realized, oh, this nigga can't move. Lou Dort, you got him. Don't worry about it. We just gonna play off. And so that's what. So that's like, hey, okay, they leave Chet at a disadvantage. The only time that JV that he did win him in versus Chet was when Chet could not go out, when he was not playing well on the offensive end of the ball. The games, if you
Oh,
notice, that Chet had played
yeah,
well, that was spreading the floor, and Jonas could not guard him.
right.
That
But
they
they
blew
wasn't
us out.
allowing, right? They wasn't allowing Jonas to wear his ass down though,
It don't. My thing is here. Jonas was the one getting worn down because as soon as he was scoring the
right?
other
But because
end,
they
Chet is
allowed it,
running up.
right?
Wait,
Because
Chet
we
is
didn't play
running.
to our advantage.
My thing again. My thing this here, brother. Like,
We
Chet
going,
was going
we
to.
going into the
Chet don't
game. We
have to
know,
bang on the other end. He can shoot the threes and still take his break on that
right? But
end.
we know each other's disadvantage. But they played to their advantage and we didn't.
You know what our disadvantage was? The fact that they had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and we didn't have Zion. That was their advantage.
Well,
Like,
that's
that's as simple as that.
right. That's the obvious. But you got to come in with the best game plan possible.
You keep sitting there saying like it's obvious, but my thing is here. It doesn't
That
matter
is
if you.
obvious.
Oh,
Then
the playoffs. The
you make
playoffs is all.
adjustments.
You
How
can make
about
a.
this? How about this, James? You make adjustments just like the Miami Heat did and won one game without Jimmy Butler, and they have nobody on the roster.
Say, James, they blew us out with Chet scoring 6 points, man. Look at the score.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Which game
106
was
to
this one?
85, man.
Yeah,
This is
Chet ain't
game
scored
three.
nothing
He ain't
that
doing
game.
anything.
No,
He
he
ain't do
wasn't. He
nothing.
wasn't really killing us.
And look what we did. What JV had
Didn't play to
12
our
minutes.
advantage.
JV played 12 minutes, man.
I
Come
guess.
on,
I
bro.
guess my thing is.
Yeah.
I guess. So here's.
And
It's funny because
look at our other offensive leaders.
I
Brandon
guess.
Ingram
Yeah,
is
he
our
didn't do
leading
well.
scorer with 19 points in 37 minutes. I
But see,
mean,
Come on,
but
bro.
so I guess my thing is the reason why, like,
CJ
and
was 7 for
y'all playing
22, bro.
y'all playing the other way where y'all felt like without
Huh?
Zion we actually probably could have just done something with extra adjustments. I'm
No,
saying
no,
Bro,
no.
that
bro.
I
no,
think we should have
Look
won a
at
game. We any
Again,
right.
team,
Look at the
that's
the
what I
the
Miami
said.
game to
team
win the
that's
game to win unfortunately was the first one. We didn't get
it
it,
don't matter. You
and
It
gotta
don't
win one,
matter.
man.
You keep
You
going,
gotta
bro.
have that
Look at the
mentality
Miami Heat,
to
bro.
fight through and figure out, man.
You had
They're
two
supposed
games
to
you
be
could have
able to
won. You
win
could have won the.
okay,
a game at least
you got
against this.
so
This is an inexperienced team, man. They
okay.
ain't never
Did you
been
watch
here.
the Miami Heat?
And
Do you
then
watch Miami
and
Heat?
then you got okay, and so we say you talk about Miami Heat. Okay, they
They
won
kept
one
shooting
game.
threes the
Guess
whole
guess
game.
what guess what and guess what else happened?
That's all they could
They
do.
guess what else happened? The Suns had all they dudes and they got sent home by a younger team too.
Bro, what?
In 4 games.
Bro,
No,
we
I'm
talking.
saying
We talking
We
about
focusing on the Pelicans, man. But
but
Yeah.
you but the guy brought up the Heat.
right,
I didn't
but
bring
that's
up the
no,
Heat.
because that's a
okay,
I'm talking
comparison
about
to us. The Suns has no comparison to us. There's no
how,
comparison.
No, I don't
but
want to
again,
get into. I
but you
don't
said
really care
no,
too
no.
much. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that point. But okay, you said no comparison. You brought up a
No,
team. No, you brought up a team that
The
didn't
Heat.
have
That's
hold on,
injured.
that was injured, and then they lost. They won one game
They
versus
won
the
one
Celtics.
game.
Okay, fine. Okay, and then I brought up a team that had all they do. Just giving another example of like you, if you ain't it and you ain't got it, you going home. You had KD, you had all these guys. They got you talk about experience, and this other team don't have all the experience. The Wolves didn't have much playoff experience, and guess what? They swept the Suns.
But no,
My thing,
that's different though, James. The
Yeah,
Wolves was
you
in the
tell them again,
playoffs,
DC.
won a
God
whole
dang it.
playoff series and everything the year before. Like
and
that's
okay,
totally different than the Thunder. This team has never even got to the playoffs or to play in.
they
Yeah,
no,
that's
they
the
was in
They
first.
playing last year.
oh
They
they
was in the
were my
playing
bad.
last year. Yes,
Okay,
they
well
beat
they never
us.
got to the they never yeah that's
They
right.
beat us.
That's right. They
But
never got to the playoffs. You know what I'm
and
saying?
they also they took a more experienced playoff team with the Dallas Mavericks to 6 games. So again,
No,
my
they're a good team, man.
but
But
that's my point.
you
My point
being
is that they're
who
a
you
good
are
team.
as the Pelicans, we should have been able to at least win a
I
game.
Right.
no,
I don't care
I
when we were
thought
supposed to do it, why it didn't happen. They should
Right.
have at least had one.
Whether you gotta keep
I
doing
That's the
something,
minimum, man.
whether you gotta keep doing something over and over again, you gotta coach the game, man.
I guess to me 1 game or 0 games it really don't matter because it was pretty much you just got sent home.
Well,
Like I would have
but
been more
Right.
excited.
it's about
A
building what
gentleman
you
sweep
building
and a
on
sweep
for
is
next
different.
year.
Yeah, that I don't know. The fan base wants the gentleman sweep, not a sweep.
I
I
get that
Man,
I get a
we want,
sweep.
yeah, competitive nature.
I
We want to see the coach make some sense out of some shit. Like he care about the team, the fan base, and wins and shit.
see this is the
That
other thing is too the reason why like I struggle because the that first fucking game was probably the best coaching Willie Green has ever done, and like his fucking team couldn't get the shot that he needed to get,
it was some
and it's just
shit
yeah.
like
because
you
it
say
was
you
some
can't say it
shit.
was some shit because like
All he
the
was,
whole because
bro.
guess what?
The
Because he
game, bro, we looked the same almost every game, bro. Literally, all we did was just enough to tie the game up and look like we were starting to celebrate, and then we just let him, like, bro, like the situations, like, bro, he had moments where when we got up, he was supposed to sub a couple offensive lineups in, like shit like that. Because like it was moments where we were up, he could have subbed in Jordan Hawkins,
you say that, but my
bro,
thing is that
bro.
the what he did to keep SGA on, and again I keep going back to the same thing. He did everything right as far as like defensive side of the ball to bottle up Jalen Williams, to bottle up SGA. The reason why we was in that game in the first place is because of the defense. The difference was, and I'm gonna
You
say
just
this:
don't win games by defense, man.
no. The difference was is that they had SGA that was able to make one more play. That's all they needed because guess what? Why? Because he's a superstar, and guess what? We was missing our superstar to do the
That's
exact same thing.
that's
So I
obvious.
again, but see that's the thing.
But now
Until
what you do? What do you do after that? What do you do?
no team, everybody going to sit there. Take the reason why fucking Jerry West, before God rest his soul, before he
Oh,
passed
Jerry
away,
West.
he said, "Oh no, okay, don't worry about it."
Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm just saying. So he said that I don't know if y'all watched. He was on the podcast with fucking Paul George, and they were sitting there having a conversation about all the stuff like this here. And the main thing he came down to is just
For the
you
MVP.
no, not MVP. He said you can't fucking win games when your star don't play. He said
Okay.
that's what he said. He said,
Okay.
and he
We
said, and my thing is here: you can win a couple of games in the regular season when they don't
okay.
play. When it comes to and the other thing is too, you sit there and say they won one game. You know the reason why
James,
Miami sit there and won that game because Bam wasn't hobbled like Bi was, and he fucking helped them win that game.
James, it was still who did Miami play again? I forgot. It was the 76ers. Who
No,
was
it
it?
was the
Who
Celtics. I want to say it was
the
the Celtics.
Celtics, dog.
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
telling
something.
me they shouldn't got their ass swept? Don't go fuck Bam or Bam
You
Wham
keep,
Cam.
but you keep saying it. But like, is Bam and Bi not at least the same level of player? Even if you want to say Bam is better.
Oh,
No, yeah, not.
No. Same,
Oh, okay,
they can't
okay,
even
all right.
I
same
can't even
tier.
compare none of that.
All
Nah,
right.
Same,
it's
no.
kind of different because
I'm
they
not talking about
both
the
used
style of
guys.
play.
Yeah,
I'm
you
talking
can't
about
even compare and contrast none of
It's
that.
kind of a
Like,
hard
okay.
comparison. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
get what you're
Again,
saying
hold
though. But
on, no.
I have to give
I am not
Bam.
talking about the style. I'm talking about the tier. Like if you sit there and
Right,
say, okay,
Last year Bam
right,
was
because
a tier above Bi, but before
yeah,
that, yeah, they
okay,
was the same.
okay, I give you Bam as a tier, but I'm not trying to argue that point. My point is
okay.
that he to your point when you brought up
Bro,
Miami Heat. I'm not going to bring up nobody else.
bro,
I
they
want to stick up
won
to the
by
Miami Heat.
shooting. The
It's
whole team was playing defense and they were shooting, bro. I was watching the game. They were shooting the whole damn game because they knew that's what they can do. They couldn't do nothing else.
Miami can't shoot.
Huh?
Miami
But
that was the
no,
one
no,
off
but
that they
that's what they
had.
could do.
No, Miami that was the one off. Miami has been a terrible
That's what
3-point
they
shooting for
could.
the
That's
last
what
two
they
three
could get
years.
off. They couldn't get to the rack and be able to get space and create. They didn't have shot creators and all that. They were moving the ball. They were
Okay,
moving the
so
ball.
they relied upon shooting luck to help them win that one game.
Right. Shoot, that's all they could do. They could do
Okay,
nothing. I was watching the game. They could do nothing else. They couldn't dribble,
okay.
penetrate, none of that shit. They were just moving the ball. That's all they were doing. But guess what? They died by it. They died about it. And you can respect it.
I guess to me, one win or
We
zero
just can't
wins,
respect
I
with our
don't
fan
care.
base. No, it's about respect, dog.
Zero wins and one
It's
wins
about
is always
respect
those
and
the
So
same
if a
building.
thing.
team make the playoffs and lose versus not making the playoffs, that's is not
No,
it don't mean nothing.
I
It's
said
about
last year.
respect and building,
I
bro.
said last year. As much as I knew we were gonna go home in the first round without Zion,
Okay,
I'd completely rather be in the playoffs than not be in the playoffs. But at the same time,
right. But
is
you
that
still,
whether they won one game or won to me? I ain't talking
but you
about everybody else.
respect.
I'm talking about to me.
Let's
Whether or
let's
not they
say let's
won
say
one
let's
game
say it
or
was
zero,
let's
it
say it
didn't
was
matter to me.
this. Let's say it was this, but you still should win one game.
Step
If they
one.
wouldn't have got blowed out in any of the 4 games, and they would have been right there to the end of the game, versus you going in there and getting blowed out, even though you lost all 4, it doesn't make a difference in how you lost.
To me it don't matter because the main thing that we need to see was having Z in the playoffs. He wasn't in the playoffs, so it didn't matter at that point. After that, to me, like I
Uh, okay.
because my thing
Right.
was this because whether
Look,
whether
I'm
we
glad you
won
ain't
one or two
coach.
games, it
Mhm.
okay. What does that do going toward the future when the main guy that we have didn't play? Because
You build the confidence for the rest
no,
of the players.
but
Thank
it don't matter because
It does matter.
that
You
no
need
no.
them
What I'm saying,
Trey
players though.
Murphy, Trey
hold on,
Murphy gonna
wait.
be the player we need him to be
I
because
hear
of what
it, but
happened in game
But
one.
see that happened. That was 2 years ago of you going to the playoffs and doing that stuff. Now this year it's no longer. Hey, we got to the playoffs and we got the experience and we won one or two games. No, now it's about motherfucker. We need to now get to the second round. And
But that's when you start. That's when Zion is. Then you'll start blaming like, yo, Z need to be healthy at the playoffs. But
he has.
you can't say that because yeah, we didn't even win a game. So
I
we
can't. No,
saying
I
if
can.
he was there, he still wouldn't have made a bigger difference
No,
to
no. He would
win
have
four
made.
games.
No,
To win 4 games.
He would have made a bigger difference in the sense that again, I thought going into that, regardless of who we had, if Zion played and everybody was playing, I still felt like OKC may get it. One, because I felt like you can say they were a better team, or
Yeah,
in the same sense, they also had home court advantage. I thought that if Zion played, it probably goes 7 and we lose or whatever. My thing
I think if
is
Zion
that
played, we had the potential to win the series because
no,
they
no.
Y'all
That's
have
had
what I'm
no
saying.
answer. They
yeah,
have
we
that's
got
no
the
what
No, no,
answer for
potential.
that's
no.
what
him.
I'm saying
seven
again.
games
They
I'm
have no
matter.
answer for Zion.
what I'm saying is that you right. That's why I said 7 games
Seven.
because
Yeah,
if it
seven.
goes
Yeah.
7, it could go one way or the other. So
Right.
we could have won the series and went to the next round, or we could have lost that game and then we wouldn't have made it.
That part.
But
Yeah.
my thing is this is that that's one showing how much of a special player he is.
Absolutely.
Number two, the same thing happens that if
And
you
how
go
shit
to
of a coach have we got?
it okay if you say that, but my thing is that I'm if we get there, there's a difference that we get there and Zion is there and the coaching does the stuff that he does and we lose game because the coaches and I am there with you. My thing is here, all that data, whatever we saw in the playoffs to me is none and void because the thing that I saw was, guess what? Zion wasn't there. We need to see this motherfucker in here. We finally come to the conclusion that Brandon Ingram and him need to probably split up at some point where they tried to trade him that offseason, this offseason, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So like that was the scenario that was going to end up happening, whether or not Zion played or not. Most like unless Brandon Ingram had came back and was shooting that bitch, and he was like Chris Middleton shooting a whole bunch of threes and doing all this other stuff. The end result, the way the season was going, was Brandon Ingram was no longer going to be on this team this offseason if they could trade him for better pieces. That was
No,
the way it was going to end.
They
But
could have traded them though. They could have traded B if they wanted to.
yeah, for scraps, of course. But
Right.
the teams
I
is
don't think so. I
no,
think
no. Uh,
the trades that they had for Bi before now were better than what we probably gonna wind up getting for him.
Are you
Oh,
sure that
We
they?
oh,
just we
oh,
had our eyes on Jared Allen,
yeah.
and I think they was really because they've been looking at Jared Allen for like 2-3 years, man.
Yeah, but are
They
we
but
sure?
really wanted Jared
But
Allen.
Cleveland didn't want to get up off
No,
of
no,
him,
no.
and
Right. That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not.
Are
I'm
we? Are
not
we
saying
sure of
that.
that?
But they
Yeah.
kept trying to hold on to the possibility of getting him. I think of passing up some other trades that were out there. Like I think
but
that
if
Sacramento trade was real.
no,
You
the
know,
second the idea. But my thing was that,
With the bonds,
but you're not one. We could trade him to you, but if we need a big,
that would have been a big. That would
you
have been
don't
nice
you
too.
don't have
To
the
go
they
get
didn't
somebody.
have the pieces to send to us that would have fit the holes that we have.
well, if they gave us
And
two firsts, we could have flipped the first to the Magic and got Wendell Carter Jr. man and gave them one of them damn
two
chickens
first for
at the
Wendell
damn.
Carter Jr. is crazy as hell.
I
no,
said a
they
first. I said
no,
one first, man.
they ain't say two first.
One.
That's crazy as hell.
Why I say
No,
two?
but
If I
they
did, I misspoke. I one first, man.
oh wait, is this true?
Some
I heard
seconds.
that if Bi would have signed for 4 years, 45 million, right after the trade, they would have traded CJ for Wendell Carter Jr. That's what I heard.
Why they
But
couldn't do that any? What
no,
Because
Brandon
because
Bi
was
Bi
gonna
wasn't
do?
because Bi wasn't
Brand
signing
Bi
for
he wasn't signing for one.
Where he was gonna go?
But
Huh?
He
again,
was
He would
gonna
have
if you
he
stay.
would have yeah he would have stayed.
I
but
don't want that.
my thing is so
They would
that's
they would have traded CJ for Wendell Carter Jr. They'd have had a
Wendell.
big
and then they
Okay.
would have put Trey Murphy in the
I
same
heard
starting
in
Wendell.
the
lineup,
same
and
spot.
But
Yep.
Wendell
yeah,
can't stay healthy though.
But you
he
still don't
can't
need the
either.
big though.
Still
He'd
too
have
much
been a
money,
big though.
man.
But see, any big, honestly, all these bigs that they try to go after for the most part had like Jared Allen has health
Yeah.
issues
Hmm.
as well each year and stuff like that. So each one they're
Yeah.
gonna run into is gonna have somebody that probably have some health issue. I think outside of like Walker
Walker.
Kessler, I think he
Yeah.
played, but at the same time
His
as
minutes ain't that much though. They always used him kind of rotational.
who that
Do we
Wendell
do we
Carter
have
Walker
a
Jr.
Kessler.
Yeah.
trade exception that if we trade for Walker Kessler that we won't
Money.
get that tax
No,
hit?
no, it'll have to be that. That's why I brought up the Hawkins thing is that if you trade him for because the way they there's a certain dollar amount they so close to that tax line that any move had to be a particular move just to make it happen without them being over the tax.
I thought we
So
got a
if they
$12 million trade exception when we traded
no
JV. When JV got it was a sign and trade, he got a 12 million trade exception, a $12 million.
Yeah,
JV didn't get
we
traded.
do.
He
It was a
signed
sign and trade. It
what?
was a sign and
Yeah,
trade.
it was, and we
It
got
was a sign and trade.
a
Yeah.
potential second round pick out the
That's what it
deal
was. It
too.
wasn't no yeah. It wasn't no
But
wasn't no
No,
trade
they
exception.
do have a trade exception because we
trade
were thinking
exception.
they were going to add the trade exception into the Dejounte Murray trade,
But
but
we
we
still got
couldn't
it.
But here
formulate it
the thing
to
is
do that.
that
They
uh,
wound up going a different route anyway.
but the
But we do have, I
thing
think it's like $10 million though.
But the thing is that I think a good bit of that trade exception got ate up because of the trade kicker that kicked in with DeJounte Murray.
No, no,
No, I don't think so.
no. It was coming after him. We
I don't
trade
think so.
that Valanciunas was after
But they pushed the
DeJounte
trade.
Murray.
But no, the trade was after DeJounte Murray. They didn't make it official until a certain point because of something to deal with his contract. Because with a, something about the fiscal year, I forgot how
No,
it ended up happening. But
we added another person in the so the money could match.
talking about Larry Nance.
No, it's
No, it was
what's the boy name, man? He wound up getting cut out the league.
yeah.
Talking
It
about
was
EJ.
EJ
yeah
Liddell.
EJ Liddell.
But not
No,
we
it
gotta
was
go back.
somebody else. Who
We
else
gotta
was?
pull this trade up, man, and look at this real quick. But yeah, we got about 20 more minutes, man. We're gonna be getting up out of here.
Nah,
Okay.
but not yeah. But I was saying that like it's the situation. The force, like I said, the force situation was that they didn't foresee to the point where like okay, his value has been so depreciated to the point that now we trying to get scraps because I believe they also think that going into the season, yes, they signed Jared Allen. They got him locked in for I think 4 more years, but he still can be traded before the trade deadline. I think the thought process is that okay, we'll hold on to our chips and y'all hold on to y'all's. There's a good chance, just like us, y'all gonna run into the same fucking issues y'all did last year with the Cavs. Y'all going to run into that situation where y'all play better with Evan Mobley at the 5, and y'all don't play well with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in the same lineup. And because you already made sure that Darius Garland ain't going nowhere, and you supposed to be investing in Evan Mobley as one of your guys, as one of your, if not the best player, eventually the second best player on your team going forward. So Jared Allen is in his way of growth. At some point, you're gonna have to come back to the table and sit there and say, you know what, we'll make the deal happen. We'll make the trade happen. Because I do believe that just like us, that everybody believed that we're going to still have the same shooting woes and the same lagging offense when the starting 5 is out there and all that stuff. Same shit gonna happen. Same shit gonna happen with Cleveland.
I don't think so. But
you don't think so? After 2 years,
I'm talking about the Pelicans with the shooting woes. I don't think so.
You don't think they go? No, I don't believe so. But you said, but yeah. I'm saying,
but
the belief
Cleveland, yeah, I think they gonna go on a downward trajectory. I think they gonna be worse than they was last year.
I don't think I don't think they're gonna be worse. I think they'll still win the same amount of games. I think go ahead. Sorry.
How y'all feel B.I. gonna play though? I mean, if anything, like
he has to.
If anybody's energy, I mean, I don't like. My energy don't even feel right about it. I don't know. I don't think his energy feels right about it.
But the thing is that if he's going to want to, here's the issue that you run into.
He better not be a cancer.
That's what I feel like.
If you it can go either way. So I'm not saying it won't. But what I'm saying is that if you looking at BI, you're BI in your situation, you become toxic to the point where it fucks your team up. That's gonna look bad on you. If they already pushing the you possibly be a bad teammate narrative when Zion was scoring 40 points and they was everybody hooping and hollering and almost beat the Lakers, you was on the sidelines pouting. Like they already talking about that. They already talking about you getting into it with Willie Green in the playoffs and stuff like that, even though you didn't really hold up your end. Then you got the noise coming about talking about how he ain't show up to the workouts and everything. You you starting to get a trend. So even if I believe
and look, and he's still with that. It seems like he ain't even going away from that because you see this recent post about
that was even before the whole news came out before he didn't go to the thing. And again, he can feel he has the right to feel the way he feels in regards to the. But here's the thing is that in his scenario, you can't afford to not buy in because people are watching now. And if you continue on this trajectory of looking like you're a bad teammate and then you won't adapt to help a team win, then guess what? You not to the point where you ain't gonna be out the league, but that 30, 40, that 50, 60 million dollars that you want a year, kiss that shit goodbye.
Yeah.
You kiss that goodbye now, period.
That's done anyway. Trade exceptions.
You don't want to hear it.
Go ahead.
These are the trade exceptions. This is what we have available according to Spotrac, which you can see this one. It expires next year, 2025. So I guess that's when we completed that deal. Must have been June 6th, right? For basically $10 million. And we still got the Kyra Lewis trade exception for 5-7 that we never used. And then we have, I guess these two must have expired at the end of the season for that's our biannual and the mid-level exceptions that we still have. So when you're looking at these trades, man, they can use some of these trade exceptions to build that without getting rid of a guy like Hulk, but they still got to get under the cap. You can't use a trade exception to get under the cap.
Right. And so that's why I say
still what we,
No,
that
I
situation
just think
that
we
we
could
probably been.
absorb Kessler contract without giving up a major player. You could give up
But you
somebody, but you did
but
trade
Hawkins
exemption.
is
You don't got to
but
match the money.
Well,
Hawkins
whoever
is
we give up
you
gotta
do
get
have to
us
match the
under the
money.
cap.
You do have to, I say you do have to, like you said, you can't use the trade exception to get under the cap. So you have to trade a actual player to get under it. And then I think at that point you can use the trade exception. But even then, the only player that's on a team that matches that man's salary is Hawk. Well, not even necessarily
No,
matches it.
he don't match his. Yeah.
No. Kessler make less money than Hawkins, I believe. Go see what Walker Tesla, because this
Hawkins right here with
4.5. Kessler don't make that much money.
4.5.
I think Kessler make
Wait,
like
hold on.
4.4,
That's a
4.2 or
cap.
something.
That's cap hit, so that might be different. Let me see something. Let's look at contracts.
What about Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan, no, he don't make enough money. They just put him on a non-guaranteed
Yeah, so
exhibit
Hawkins, yeah,
9.
he making 4 a year. That's where he at, man.
And now go to Walker Kessler. Go find him.
Let's find Utah.
I think he probably making like 8.
No,
Not 4.
Nah, it's like
he
2
make,
something. It's like
yeah.
2 something.
Yeah, 2.
Oh,
2 to 4.
So that's what I'm saying.
Walker
Like
Kessler,
you
so
then we
he's
don't need the trade
basically
exemption
he
for him.
averages
No,
out to 3.3, but I don't know exactly what he's making this
so
year.
that's what I'm saying. So they over the cap by like
Probably
1 point. They over the cap for about like 1 point some $1 million. That trade by itself does two things. One, it gets you under the cap, and you get a starting caliber center. So like I get the whole, you hate to see Jordan Hawkins leave and stuff like that, but at the same time is that if you rather keep him on the team and go into the season with no caliber starting big, because the BI trade not finna happen now. Like we've seen that
Yeah, it's over.
unless the trade again, unless Utah says fuck it, we'll trade you Kessler and Collins for Brandon Ingram. The only way I feel that you're going to get Kessler off that team, if without Utah bringing back Brandon Ingram, is trading Jordan Hawkins. And to me, I'd rather have the big that can eat up the rebounds, that can bang with the other guys to fill the hole that we have a great big issue with, than the guy that may or may not be our 9th or 10th best player in the future.
I think
It's a
I
hard
think they're
decision.
just going to let Bi play to the trade deadline and see if they could trade him, or they going to let him walk.
Now,
Either or.
how they gonna play him though? Like,
How they going to play him? The
It's
same
not
way they
necessarily
normally.
but
The
it's not
same way they
necessarily.
normally play him. He going to run.
Yeah, Hawk is making 4.5. Kessler's making 2.9. So their salaries they don't match, but that probably would get us
But see,
exactly under the cap if we
but
were able to pull.
Yeah,
and Utah is already like millions and millions of dollars under the cap. So the
way
salary to
under
them,
the cap.
the salary to them don't matter. It only really matters to us in a sense. So we need to send, like I said, he's the only player that's on the team that makes the money that you can see Utah wanting, that we can afford to give up to then get the big that obviously they clearly don't want either, because they've been shopping him as well. So if you see the situation now, the only reason why I said I don't think the Brandon Ingram trade thing going to work is because I still don't believe Utah is trying to win games. So I don't see them wanting to bring in another guy.
Cooper Flag, huh?
They want that Cooper Flag boy. So I think they go sit there, because as good as
But
Laurie Martin,
if they you really think they're gonna be in position to get Cooper Flag with Laurie
yes,
Martin
because
playing?
they're going
hold him
to
at the last 20 games of the season and just
they're
tank?
going.
It's possible.
No,
They are in the
They
West.
going
though.
one
to
Lord,
fake an
Wait for him to
injury.
get hurt and just
one
They
Lord
going to fake
marketing.
an injury and he going to play. They
That
going
team
to
is
they
so.
they
I'm
going
about
to
to
lose a
say.
bunch of
Too,
games.
DC, so it's possible.
I'm about to say, because Lord marketing ain't like he the type of player that's going to keep them from losing enough games.
He's not
Now,
gonna take over no game just by
no. So my thing is here is that they may event, because they go probably try to trade out Jordan Clarkson. They want to get rid of John Collins, but him by himself is not really something a whole bunch of people going to get, because you know how Dan Ainge is. He's trying to cut you for wherever you got. But
Then
John
why would they
Collins.
take the BI? Why would they take BI?
But that's what I'm
For
saying.
them to,
That's what I'm saying. To me, that's just the trade that people brought up that would help the
uh,
Pelicans, and then they could probably, maybe, he
but
get that to like use as another asset to trade something else. I don't know. I don't believe they'll do it. That's just something they push
yeah,
out there. That's why
they're
I'm
not.
saying.
Yeah, they're not
That's
doing
why
that.
I'm saying. I believe the more realistic trade, believable trade that can happen is the Jordan Hawkins for Walker Kessler, because that's a situation where Walker Kessler, I'm sorry, Jordan Hawkins could flourish because they have no expectations and they don't have nobody in front of him. Like, they can afford the bullshit and not play well, and he could go out there and just shoot and do what the fuck he want to, because they're not trying to win anyway. And the worse he is and the most bullshit he do, the better they can get Cooper Flag and chip his ass about it anyway. But
But
like,
they would have to be extremely high on Jordan Hawkins too, because like I don't see the big huge benefit
but they
in
don't.
that for
But
them, like unless we send them a draft pick or something.
just to have another piece that you could
Because you
probably
got
end up.
Cavante George, man, ain't chopped liver. They paying him about the same they would be paying Hawk.
He
He
not.
plays the same position. He's 19. Unless they gonna run him at point guard, then they still got Jordan Clarkson here.
But they gonna
Who's
get.
making
But they gonna get
$14
rid.
million dollars.
They
They not
trade
keeping Jordan
AJ
Hawkins. I mean, Jordan Clarkson.
They
They try
probably
to get
will
rid of
want
him.
to give us Jordan Clarkson and and
Mm-mm.
John Collins, and they'll let
They
Bi
ain't
expire
doing
No,
that.
if
no.
anything.
But that
Like,
ain't. That ain't. But that's
he
not what the Pelicans wouldn't accept
Why
that.
wouldn't they do that, J Black?
The
For
yeah,
Pelicans. I'm
expiring.
saying the Pelicans wouldn't make
because
that trade.
the Pelicans would do that in a heartbeat, but they ain't doing
No,
that.
That's probably the
not
best
for
they can.
Jordan Clarkson. They wouldn't.
Huh?
Nah, you can
Not
move
for
Jordan.
Jordan
You can
Clarkson.
move if they can find somebody to take
Utah
his
Why
can't
wouldn't
spot.
move.
they?
Utah
Why
can't
wouldn't they do?
get him now.
Huh?
I about to say Utah can't move. Utah tried to move the man last 2 years. Now they can't move him.
Yeah, but for Bi, I think they do that
I'm
now.
saying that
No, he's saying the
Utah would.
Pelicans.
I'm
He's
saying
saying
the
the
Pelicans
Pelicans
would not
wouldn't
do
do it.
that, because
The
then
I
you
wouldn't.
Pelicans
add,
would not do that.
I don't
because
want Jordan Hawks.
because
Jordan
you
Clarkson.
Let's go
already
get
you
let's go get
already
KD,
have
man.
You
you
got
already
CJ.
have a log jam as it is with scoring guards. You need the big. You need Kessler. So if it took so trading Bi to Utah for Kessler and Collins does not only just get you the big, but it also satisfies the type of defense Willie really wants to play, which is switch everything. Because at some point now you can run minutes with John Collins, who, even though I'm not a huge fan of, he is a nice, athletic,
But
big power
that
forward
basically
wing.
leaves
Then
And
you wouldn't do that
that
with all
leaves
these
Utah
spinners.
with no big though, bro.
No
Like
big.
no,
other
no, no,
than
no, 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 no.
Kyle
I said Walker
Filipowski.
Kessler.
Filipowski.
I said no. Well, see, the thing
You
is
said
that,
Walker Kessler and John Collins. So
John Collins,
who
yeah,
gonna
they
play
don't have
center
no
for him?
but they have. But I guess again, my thing is that they don't care enough. Like,
Yeah, they don't want to win.
they still have bigs on there that could at least suffice for the season.
We
But
could send him back Trey Jemison or something like that.
he don't make enough. He
They
don't make
don't
enough
make enough.
money.
No, I'm saying like with Bi. You're
they
doing this
that's
with Bi.
that's not
Nah, we
that
keeping
still don't
Jefferson
make
this
enough
time,
Yeah,
man.
money.
we keep.
You
So you saying that's a power forward and a center? Then we
Yeah,
have
But
at
Jordan
least
Clarkson
like
was playing center for him though. Like they would sub him out, sub
and put
Kessler
Collins in.
Walker out, and put
Yeah, well, yeah.
Collins in.
no,
So
I'm talking
that's
about
yeah,
Collins and Kessler
yeah. So
and for
so
Bi.
yeah.
So now you move Laurie Markin into center and
I
Bi is
mean,
power.
you probably
I
keep
don't care about
Laurie.
their team. Matter of fact, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
give
I'm
a
about to
god.
say yeah, but like for the Pelicans, in a sense, if you had, because I'm about to hop off, for the Pelicans, in a
You
sense,
about to shut the stream down.
you have. I'm sorry, you have the starting. You have the starting
Start
big.
center.
The starting center in Kessler that's going to give you about 20 minutes. Then you got the guy and John Collins, who he does two things. One, he can serve as Zion's backup as the four. With You also allow, like I said, with Biagon, you put Trey Murphy in the starting lineup, so you have that situation going for you. And then
You got a full
Willie,
stretch
what
three.
right,
Big.
Florida, but what Willie again at the same time is one of the reasons why he and the whole JV thing did not fox a lot, because the defense that Willie and John with Collins man want to play is a switch all defense. So now you have John Collins, who is 6'10", has long wingspan, and he's athletic, and he shoots well enough from the three that on the offensive side of the ball, that he's not the liability that even though JV wasn't a offensive liability, he was a spacing liability. So you have the spacing with him, like so you have the five would be in the closing lineup would be John Collins at the five, Zion at the four, Trey Murphy at the three, Herb at the two, and then DJ at the one.
Damn, so CJ not in the closing lineup?
No, because your shortest dude now. Because think about it, you have if Zion comes in with the same mentality defensively that he ended the season with, you have three guys. Your shortest guy in that ending rotation is 6'5", which is
Dejounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray. You had your your two guards each have 7 foot wingspan. That's 14 feet of just wingspan between him and Herb Jones.
I know, but the closing lineup, they'll put Herb in, I think, for defensive purposes.
But again,
the closing lineup gonna be about buckets. I mean, you're gonna have somebody out there gotta be able to defend
the
too.
buckets.
It depends. It depends on the head coach. It depends on the head coach.
Again, you said it's about you say it's about buckets.
I don't think you could sell CJ on that.
No, but here's the thing. You had
defense.
Whoever playing good gonna play late.
He is,
but it ain't gonna be interchangeable. If that trade happens, that'd be interchangeable. It wouldn't be just one. It wouldn't be just one set group.
No, but what I'm saying is this is that, like, again, I believe CJ is professional and that he understands, like, I make enough money. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Stuff like that.
Professional.
James.
You can't tell him on that.
Okay, hold on.
You can tell him on the start.
Again,
you can tell him on the start. You ain't telling them on that.
No, my thing is this here. If you sit there, you look at their rotation again. I just have more respect for CJ in regard to him understanding. But my thing is this:
CJ level is not going to go. Nobody.
But CJ is not.
But not closing.
But my thing is here: CJ one again. If you look, there's a difference in saying there's a guy in front of me that I feel is not better than me, that I could take his minutes compared, or that I should be out there compared to.
You think he feel like Trey Murphy better than him?
I think he understands. I think CJ. No. See, I think CJ understands that it's the things that Trey, Herb, Zion, Collins, and DeJounte Murray lineup does that I don't bring that. Like you talk about, it's about buckets. DeJounte Murray can get buckets. Trey Murray can get buckets. Zion get buckets. Again, John Collins is a 38% 3-point shooter and an athletic person that can get 20 points and 10, 12 rebounds a game. You have the offense. And then Herb Jones, even though he's not this crazy offensive person, he still shot 40% for the 3-point. Even if he dropped to 38, that's still enough, because again, before KD got to Golden State Warriors, their depth lineup was Iggy, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, right? Okay. So Steph Curry obviously was a bucket getter. But outside of that, you had Klay Thompson. He was a bucket getter. Guess what else he could do too? He could defend. You had Harrison Barnes. He could get buckets, but he wasn't on the same level bucket getter as the other one. But guess what he could do? He could also defend. Iguodala is the 6'8" dude that could get buckets and he could defend. And then you had the other guy who can't get buckets, but he could defend. And Draymond Green. But
you got John Collins who can defend, DeJounte Murray who can defend and get buckets.
Yeah.
You got Trey Murphy who can
John
defend.
John Collins can get buckets though too. Is what I was saying. John Collins is not he's not, but what I'm saying, you said it's also about
but I'm
buckets.
saying I'm focusing on defense. Like it's like if you take Herb out and you had CJ in the closing lineup,
I'm not taking Herb out.
It's not like we don't have no defense.
We don't, but at the same time is that
so you don't consider John Collins and DeJounte Murray and Trey Murphy?
I think they're
And
gonna do the offense defense.
What Zion can be defensively too.
They
He
they gonna do
has.
they could do the
Has.
offense defense.
Especially as Zion is a good defender in the last
But
2-3 minutes of the game.
that's my
People
point.
don't pay
Is
attention.
but
They
see
could
that's
do
my
the
point.
they could do the offense defense. Substitution, um,
That's what I think they
timeouts.
But
would
my
do.
point.
Yeah,
But my
that's
point is
more
They
that with
won't
that
put
strategy.
line,
CJ in
with
that lineup
but
though.
what I'm saying is that CJ can be in that lineup. But what I'm saying is that the optimum lineup that there is no, because at the end of the day you can't, you can
No.
still
I'm
hunt.
not
No,
arguing that. I'm just
yeah.
saying like CJ
I
would have
okay.
to
How
be in the
about
CJ
this?
ain't
closing
buying that.
lineup if he owned the team because
How
that
about this?
it
How
just
about this? I believe, and DJ B, you have a conversation. I'm sorry, that DJ. I'm sorry, I'm sleeping.
DC.
DC, sorry, brother. I have a conversation with you on Twitter, but I'm telling you, CJ is not starting this year,
No,
and he'll be, and he's
I hope
okay
he
with
not,
it,
James. I
and
hope
he's
he's
no, I
not.
know you hope he's not, but y'all don't believe that he's already accepted the scenario in which that he is going to be the sixth man, and also if again, this we only talking about a trade if they could get the lineup the way the lineup that they want to get.
Yeah,
Currently, he may still be able to be in the closing lineup because we don't necessarily have that big and stuff like that. But my thing is here, because they traded for DeJounte, because you have your two wings, three wings now will still be out on there that are 6'9" and above, and all of them have 7 feet wingspan. And you have Zion, who he ain't going to the bench. He's not going to be in the starting the closing lineup because of his ability to break defense and stuff like that. Even with him not possibly being a great defender, like it's just going, unless it's a situation where, let's say Herb Jones is like he just having a terrible fucking game or something like that. Then it's like, you know what, CJ, go in because we need the offense, and for some reason it's not working this particular reason. But again, if you have John Collins on your team, there's not unless somebody is hurt, there's no scenario that I see that the closing lineup will not include that five, because there is no offensive hole to speak of unless Herb dropped down to a 29% three-point shooter, and there's no hole defensively. So why would I introduce a guy in my lineup that can get picked on when I have an opportunity where I don't have any holes in this? Like, that's what I'm saying. And I think, and again, at the end of the day, I also believe CJ irresponsible and understand that, like, again, they benched him. He did not play for majority of that fourth quarter when the Pelicans came back and was about to beat the Lakers. Only reason why he got in the game was because of Zion getting hurt. And he was completely okay with not fucking. Well, the other time he got benched and they asked him about it, he said, I ain't fucking have it. I ain't have it. And that was the right call. Like, I just have, I guess, like I said, I just have more belief that he will be okay with it again because he's getting paid and he's 32, 33 years old. Like, he understands his shelf life.
He should be James, and
that's
you're
great.
absolutely right in theory. But I've watched CJ be out there with Bi and Zion, and it don't take a rocket scientist to know that one of those two guys should have the most shots, and he consistently leads in games with shots
I
with
put
them
that
two
on,
guys out there. So it's like
but I put
I've
that
seen
on
so many
Zion
different
and Brandon
things.
Ingram from not getting the ball is the thing. Like, if you sit there, because we've seen plenty of time where Zion would get the ball and give it up, and it'd be sometimes like, bro, we need you to be more selfish. Like the same game I talked to y'all about OKC, the second game that they came back and lost. He was unselfish offensively and stayed focused mostly defensively down the stretch. And he did not attack, and he kept passing the ball to CJ, and the ball wasn't going in. And you could tell CJ was telling him, motherfucker, you got to go. Even after the game was over with, CJ told him, brother, I understand you did the defense and stuff like this here, but nigga, you are the nigga, and you got to go when we need a bucket. And then the next game they played against the Milwaukee Bucks, and guess what happened? CJ gave him the rock, and he did what he was supposed to do, and he attacked the basket. I am putting that on Zion from not being selfish enough. Because if you're not gonna take the shot, and if Brandon Ingram not gonna take the shot, I can't be mad at the one motherfucker that will take the shot.
So when CJ run down court and he takes a shot when nobody touches the ball,
Yeah, he did that a couple times.
That's because Zion didn't get it or Pi didn't get it, and he's the point guard.
Yeah, he the point guard.
He the point guard.
But they be telling him to shoot shots like that. So that's halfway on coaches too.
I understand that they do.
Yeah, to get his rhythm or something like that.
I'm just saying, like, to me, a lot of things by CJ being an older player, the respect I had for him understanding the game, I thought it was, a given that he would be kind of more involved with getting those guys involved, right?
Nah, that.
But the unfortunate part is that they found out the hard way that it's not a situation that he don't want to or anything like that. It's more, but that's not his game. That's the reason why they asked him to play off ball this year, which he did until they didn't play.
Oh, that's fine. But I'm saying all that to say I can't assume shit when it comes to CJ in that scenario, because you can look around the league, James, and I want CJ to be on the bench. I do. I hope that's the decision they go with, and I hope they're thinking like what you're saying. But you can look around the league, man. You look at players making $33 million. You ain't gonna find a whole hell of a lot of them not starting. Especially over somebody making $13 million.
I hear you, but there's also not too many teams. Like everybody said last year, we had 6 starters last year, and then it didn't get no easier this year. Now, we don't have 6 this year, but on the unfortunate part,
we got 7 this year.
No. They got the 6 because we don't have a starting caliber center. We still have
you gonna start the center.
Tyson's not a starting caliber center. He's not a starting caliber center. He's a good rotation center. He's not a starting. If Tice was a starting caliber center, we wouldn't hear the amount of people bitching about the center position.
I don't think he's not a starting caliber center as far as somebody who can give you some stuff. I think it's just the fact that he's short. It's like we got all of these guys that's 7 foot. Something we got to go up against, and you got Tice sitting at 6'8".
But that's the point, is that
we've seen him start and be solid, man.
He can be solid for a couple of games, but nobody is starting this man 82 games. Is the point? Is that if you see
what was he starting in Boston?
He was playing in Boston. It was Al Horford and Time Lord.
Before he got here. Before he got there.
Al Horford was with the Thunder, James.
Thunder,
yeah. About that.
Al Horford was the Celtics before he got Al Horford was there.
Yeah, but he left before he left and got traded to the Thunder. I forgot for who. And then he wound up and went back to the Celtics. He didn't stay there his whole career. He went there from Atlanta, and then they moved him from Boston to the Thunder.
And then Time Lord was
there for a while.
And then Time Lord was the starting center until the only time Tice got to start.
Time Lord. Who you calling Time Lord?
The man, he's in Portland right now. He kept getting hurt. I can't think of that man's name.
Robert Williams was always hurt.
Yeah,
but he was the starting center before Robert Williams took his spot.
No, he was a starting center until he got hurt, and then Tice came in there. Like they had got depleted at the center position because, like you said, Al Horford had left, and then he had to play because they had nobody else. They did not believe in him as a starting center. And then when they got back, and then they still had I'm just gonna call him man Time Lord anyway.
Time Lord. Robert
Williams. They still got him starting, and their whole plan was for to be their starting center, and for Al Horford to either come off the bench or to play the 4. And the problem is that he could not stay healthy enough, so Al Horford had to play the 5 for the most part, and then they would have ancillary pieces of guys coming in like that tall, white, lanky, redhead white boy. I can't think of his name right now. That would come in and play center position because nigga didn't get hurt. And then if you think about it this way, guess what? They went out there and got who? Porzingis, and then what happened to Al Horford? He went to the bench. Like Tice has always been the same way that I can't think of what the other center name is, but he kind of remind me of Tice a little bit. I think maybe not Kelly Olynyk, but either way, it's one of them type of like 6'9", 6'10" guys.
You talking about
That
Brian Scalabrine?
No, Kelly Olynyk. That's
no. That was
great.
a Cornet or something or whatever, some tall white boy in the last couple of years that was on their team that he was not good at all, but he got more run than he need to because they got depleted at the center position. But either way, Tice did get a lot of run, but again, it was in short spats and only because 2 of the 3 centers or whatever had got hurt and he had to play. So is he a good second guy behind a starting center? Absolutely, because I think he brings something that JV did not, with the ability to spread the floor. But at the same time, you still can't have him out there versus even some of the most average bigs for a long period of time. It's kind of like what's your boy name? Billy. Billy would come in, don't play for 20 some games, and then he'll come in and play well for a couple games, and it's just like that's enough.
Well,
that 5 games you played is enough. Don't play no more.
So in 2019, 2020 year,
Yeah, it was one of them years he was starting, bro.
he started 64 games.
Okay.
He played 65 games. He started 64.
Okay.
Then he went to Toronto, I believe. Oh, he was. I don't know. It looked TOT. I don't know what TOT is. I think that's Toronto.
No, that's trade. That's total. That mean they traded him at some point, and then the other. What you'll see. You on
Yeah.
Basketball Reference, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the TOT just showed the total for the whole season, and then it'll be the top team of the list will be who he played with first, and then after that would be after TOT would be the team he eventually got traded to.
Okay, so it was Boston. He was at Boston for 42 games. He started 37, and then he went to Chicago. And he
what year was
started.
that?
That was 2020, 2021.
Was that was before they got Vooch then?
Yeah. Then he got traded from there. And went to Houston.
And how many games he played or started there?
21 out of 26 games.
And he got traded again?
Yeah, he got traded right back to Boston.
And how many games he started then?
It went down 21 games he played, 6 games he started. And then he went to Indiana. It was 7 games he played, 1 game he started. Then he got traded again to Indiana, I believe. Indiana to the Clippers. And he played 60 games, and he only started 3.
So again, like the only place he started at for a long period of time was that year at Boston. That everybody got hurt at the center position. So like he's a good backup.
It was 2 years in Boston though.
2 years, okay, 2 years. I'm talking about the first stint that he was it. Yeah,
he had like a couple of years. He was a starter.
Okay.
It was 2
years. He took over after the Kyrie era. I remember him being the center.
Okay.
Once they got off of Kyrie, and
then
Robert Williams emerged after that, and then Hoffman came back.
And they had another big too that used to play for Phoenix that was out there too. Like they were just throwing anybody out there at that point with the Celtics because they could
Taco Fall and all
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I remember that year. Oh
so, yeah. So they wasn't sold on him, or they was looking for something more. But my thing, I'm just saying he's a solid, starting center. Like he ain't gonna do too much, he ain't gonna do too little. He give you enough.
I think it's to him to a point where, like I said, I think he's good enough.
Is he a better fit than JV?
I think he can be. He can be in certain aspects, because what you got to remember with JV, what we lost the Steven Adams effect, and the Steven Adams effect was very timely, strong screen set, and man, that used to free up so much space for Zion, even though we didn't have a lot of shooting.
We're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss that rebounding a lot if the other guys don't pick that up.
But the screens that Tice set, man, he got his own little variation of a certain screen here.
That Gortat, he got that Gortat screen down.
He don't even really he'll be about to screen him, and before he even make contact, he just cut the roll to the goal.
That's the Gortat screen.
And it sets everything up, man. So
Yeah,
I think he'll free up a lot of space for Zion just with that. And on top of that, can he not only do that and I
He can
compare him to
shoot.
Steven Adams with the screen, he can shoot.
He
But
can
we
shoot.
we, we losing on the rebound because he ain't
Losing the
gonna have a
rebound,
spot
but
to
he can
rebound.
shoot though.
So Zion gonna have to rebound. Everybody in the starting lineup gonna have to rebound better because it ain't gonna be on just one person. But I think DeJounte probably will be one of the better rebounding point guards we had in a
okay, yeah.
while. He
Cause I
can
think
help
he
there.
averaged. I think he averaged what six or seven rebounds the
Yeah,
last
he's
2 years.
pretty damn good rebounder, man. DeJounte.
Herb Jones can pick his up. Bi
Herb,
as
that's
long
that's
as
the
he is.
one area of his game I've been waiting to see explode, man. If Herb could become a next generation of rebounder, man,
Oh,
And see, my
man.
thing was
I
so
thought you
my
was talking about playmaking.
and I about to say that too,
Well,
but like
playmaking he can come up too, but I want to see the rebounds before
Okay.
playmaking. I
I
think
about to say,
that's the
cause that's gonna be
easier
more
one to fix.
yeah. And then with the Zion thing is like I know everybody want to get 10 rebounds. I just want your number to go from 5 to 8. If you give me 8
Hey, that's
rebounds,
what I said. I predict him
I'm
to get about 8 rebounds.
yeah.
What you gonna get 8? I say about 8. Yeah,
He
because he
gonna
can
have
do
to.
it.
Yeah, and he gonna have to because
Zion can have
yeah.
a double digit rebounds in the playoffs if he want to, bro. Like he turns it on when he need to get rebounds, and he just kind of coast through for the rest of the year. But them games we need to win, go look at his rebounds. He always get a lot of rebounds when he playing all out in like a need to win game. So
So
I
do
think
you
he's
think
definitely
do you
gonna do it.
think that the Daniel Tice that we seen in the Olympics and the
No,
Jose Alvarado
no,
we seen
no,
in the Olympics
no.
gonna have a effect in the season?
No, because them dudes go over there and act. Now Jose does what Jose does, but like we see that them dudes go over there and fucking like lose they got their mind for their home countries and fucking play like the dude who was Evan Fournier ain't been on the team in like 3 years and he was torching niggas all fever, and then you got
He said he's staying over there. He ain't
yeah,
he ain't starting with no
he
NBA.
good over there. And then again, what's the dude that used to go to the hell, Patty Mills. Patty Mills is a prime example. He's a good role player. He's somebody you want on your team, but that motherfucker go over there in FIBA and the Olympics and be putting on like he's Steph Curry. So no, I don't believe none of that. I think he'll do what he's supposed to do when he get here, but I don't believe none of that shit they do in FIBA.
Mm,
All right, any more questions? One last
no.
question, man. We gonna go ahead and get up out of here. DJ showed up, man. So we're gonna have you go ahead and close out the show, man. You waited forever to show up. But anybody else got anything else they want to cover or any last remarks they want to go ahead and do before we close out the show?
I don't got no question in my mind, not right now. But matter of fact, I do. I do. Now, if 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 Bi if Bi is will Bi adapt? That's the if he doesn't adapt this year, because that's the main thing. Adapting to taking more threes. If he matter of fact, let's say he does adapt. He does adapt. He takes more threes. Will he be back next year?
Nah, he gone regardless.
I don't think him taking more threes will get him back next year. Hopefully, it'll up his trade value. He would have to play otherworldly along with those more threes for them to consider that. I think the only way that Bi can be back next year is if we just fumble through not being able to trade him at all by the trade deadline, and due to David Griffin's arrogance, I think we could see him sign some variation of a deal if he don't have a strong market, or them try to force the issue just to be able to get something back for him instead of losing him for nothing. Because this Bi trade, we need to get something solid out of this, even if it's just draft picks, to be able to set up for the future to actually turn this team into a major contender. Like what we do or get with him is kind of imperative, and I think David Griffin knows that. And that's why you see all the slow footing and not really, trying to get off of him, or they were being really hesitant probably when they could have traded him. So
Okay, that's all.
I think Bi gonna ball out though, man. I think a lot of people gonna get to see what he can do. He's gonna come out there. He's gonna be a more selfish version of himself. But with us having a point guard that may help, and I think you're gonna see him get pretty solid numbers, and we find a way to trade him by the trade deadline.
Okay, that's all I want to know. That was my question tonight. Y'all enjoy your night. I'm getting off here.
All right, brother. Good to have you,
All right.
man. Well, next time we open up the lines, come on back, Jay Black.
Well, yeah, I'll be back because summer's over now, so I can be back.
Any
Yeah,
last
All right,
thoughts,
later.
James?
Nah, I'm about to say I'm finna hop off too, finna go ahead and hit the bed. Good talk with y'all again.
Likewise, man. Glad to have you back, bro. See you next time. All right, DJ, man. What's happening, bro? Where you at?
I'm right here.
I'm surprised you still up, big dog.
Man, y'all was talking outdoor dogs and everything. I'm ahead late, so I catch y'all on the next one.
That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead and give us the phrase that pays, man. We about to get up out of here, bro.
All right. Well, go ahead on and like the video, share the show, hit the thumbs up button, and by all means, if anybody talk about our team and our Pelicans, you tell them in the New Orleans Pelicans to get the flock out of here and go flock yourself.
Show us the edge, the chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level, yeah. Expectations high, gotta show 'em you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter, baby. Put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Whoa, and see the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning time to come up and bring out the outlook. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.